Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. I am David Sponheim, and this is Technology Thursday. Good evening. We are just digesting another series of tweets that Donald Trump made over the past day. And apparently he's using Twitter as his format for communicating with the world. And I cannot imagine anyone communicating with the world in, 72 character limits. It's as if he doesn't really want to speak. And apparently he has all these typos as well. He still doesn't have a person doing spell check for him. Now, the hurricane is another major piece of news. Let's take a look here. Texas in the direct path of a suddenly intensifying and astounding Hurricane Harvey. Got sound? Good, good. So Hurricane Harvey is taking a pathway directly in line with the Texas coastline. If you're in Galveston, you're probably concerned about your home. You're probably putting up plywood over your windows. All kinds of things are happening. Let's take a look at what's going on in Texas. All right. Hurricane Harvey, plywood. First major hurricane to hit Texas in 9 years. It's bracing for potential catastrophic flooding and winds as Hurricane Harvey intensifies Thursday and cruised toward a late Friday impact near Corpus Christi. Sound is up. We're up and running. Sound is on. Not sure what's going on with your sound. All right, we have a pretty good mic, and the nice thing is we're going to have an even better mic. Let me show you this mic here. We picked this mic up. It's got an armature and everything, and I had the popper stopper from when I was a voiceover artist. And one of our supporters just sent us an incredible mic, Mad Dog, and he sent me a mixer board too. So we're going to not only have this great mic, which is a USB mic, Marantz Professional, but we're also going to have a really good mic and compare the difference. So that'll be great. I just ordered the basket for it, so it can set in a little basket so nothing touches it. And I just ordered the XLR cable. So hopefully by next week we'll have the other mic to compare the difference. And we're trying to improve the sound quality because, as you know, I was a voiceover artist for many years, and I really would rather have my voice in full detail when we do the show. Yeah, Harvey is scary. The National Hurricane Center described Harvey's sudden strengthening as astounding. The storm is expected to strike as a Category 3 hurricane, meaning winds higher than 111 miles per hour, making it the most powerful storm to make landfall in the United States since Hurricane Wilma in 2005. So it's going to top even Katrina in terms of the intensity. Yeah, so hopefully if everything works out and the sound quality is incredible, Mad Dog may be the beneficiary of our number 4 edition of Hybrid Capitalism, which is, there's no page numbers on it. It's unusual, and it's signed with, and it's the number 4 copy. So I probably would like to give that to somebody who's made a sizable donation, and so far he's been the biggest donator. You like that idea? Well, then let's make it happen. And we reimbursed you for the shipping, so hopefully you got that through PayPal. And I just want to give it to somebody who's deserving of it so they can keep it as a collector's item. And you've been such a great supporter, Mad Dog, and you've been such a big part of our show that we would love to, put it away as a collector's item. Excellent. Okay, so that deal is now no longer a $100 donation goes to anybody. It's going to Mad Dog because he sent me more than $100 in equipment. So we'll get that going and make that happening eventually. I can't tell you when I'm going to send it to you, your snail mail address, but we'll figure it out. Okay, so we want to make sure that everything is moving forward. GOP is taken aback by the verbal bombs that Trump laid on Mitch McConnell. Let's see, obviously, we've got a little video here I could play. President Trump blames the GOP leaders for debt ceiling mess. It has attacked Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and House Speaker Paul Ryan, blaming them for rebuffing his request to raise the debt ceiling tied to a Veterans Affairs bill. I requested that Mitch M. and Paul R. tie the debt ceiling legislation to a popular bill. They didn't do it, so now we have a big deal with the Dems holding them as usual. Congress now faces an end of September deadline to raise the debt ceiling, so failure to do so would lead to the government's inability to pay off its debts. You know, when Trump said Veterans First last week, it's ironic that he never really put that into the Department of Defense bill. The $54 billion that he originally asked for to extend military spending was for companies like Raytheon and Lockheed Martin, not the Veterans Administration. And now he wants to bundle this with the VA bill. Thank you. The NRA gave me a, what did they give me, Ben? Ben's Pillow says the NRA gave me a rating. What is it, a C- or a B+? Ben's Pillow. What is the rating? Because I was curious. I got a B- originally, but somebody told me it went up, so. Or a C+, something like that. Dave's dedication to define in the hours he hasn't wasted broadcasting. He's broadcasted for many years, educating people that he himself is the best mention for president. Thank you, Politics for Dummies. That's true. Well, when you're committed to the country and to improving the country, you really put yourself out there. And I made this an issue of principle when I started. We recognized that we were going to be faced with tons of censorship. The first 500 hours of our show, I faced 0 responses from the media, 200 press releases, not one single email back. And we recognized that the censorship was going to be bad. I just didn't expect it to be this bad. So right around the 600th show that we did, we've done over 3,000 now, I decided that I wasn't in this to build a political machine with money. I was in this to build a political machine with internet penetration. And that was the biggest task, to convert to that and realize that there wasn't going to be a lot of money to buy TV commercials at the Super Bowl. There wasn't going to be any money down the road to fund even a local cable TV commercial campaign, which I pitched for years, and no one seemed to understand that. But there was the possibility that we could grab that little place on the internet back in 2008 and watch it bloom. Well, 4 years later, we were contacted by a political group doing demographic studies, and they said, wow, you're the 8th most powerful political group in America. We were like taken back. We're like, whoa, the 8th most powerful political group in America. And that was 4 years ago. So we've already then urged people to broadcast our signals around the world, and they did. And consequently, we're now on UHF, and a lot of people don't even have the internet. They just tune in with their rabbit ears and watch the show because they want to see the news. They want to find out what's cooking on the internet. And people sending links, the links are great. People watch shows and they get educated. That's why I am doing this right now. And that's why I chose that to be my destiny in life. Because I feel that we're at a very pivotal time. In the next 20 years, the internet will be so censored and so controlled, no average American will be able to get to this point where we've got this amount of reach. It won't happen. What they've proven to me is that this country is not free and democratic. We are highly controlled, and our two-party system is bought and paid for. And I don't believe that we can build a third party with a person leading that cause who is viable. So I really, as an unviable person who's not greedy and materialistic like Donald Trump, I really believe I'm the right person for the job right now. Trivia will be coming up in about 15 minutes, if you're waiting for trivia. In 5 years, we'll have the internet police, Bengalitis thinks, policing the internet and coming to your home to take you away to FEMA camps. It could happen. It could happen. The technology is becoming almost overwhelmingly complicated. I remember when I started designing websites back in the early days, like 1997, I learned HTML and I learned how to do basic tweaking of sites using plugins. And those are widgets to you if you're wondering what a plugin is. But widgets are now the thing. And if you build a website, you can add widgets to your site easily. But if you try to dive into the code and you're looking at the the coding nightmare that Mark Bond put together, which is a slow process of mistakes, and it doesn't render quickly. Programming and coding and website design is so much more complicated now. And it hasn't gotten easier, it's gotten more developed. And as it got more developed, NSA developed hacking tools that they sent out recently with the Vault 7 release, which is suspicious because the NSA isn't even pursuing anybody within their organization as the release of that. There's no Edward Snowden that they're labeling as the bad guy. Nobody's been pinned for releasing Vault 7. So it's more than obvious that NSA is releasing all these hacking tools because they don't want to be fingered in an investigation where those hacking tools are used. So the NSA is very suspicious now, and they're engaging in what I think is a very interesting tactic. And putting those tools in the internet was extremely irresponsible, and it puts all of us at risk. So that's kind of where we're at right now in terms of technology. All right. You like the word? Okay, good. I'm on all the bulletin boards. Great. Good to know. Subidoo. Well, this is a process by which people are made aware of us through word of mouth. Jeff Bezos, who bought Whole Foods recently for $13.7 billion, is now planning on lowering some prices at Whole Foods. That's kind of interesting, but still no commitment about keeping genetically modified food out of their building. So the era of whole paycheck, the derisive nickname for Whole Foods, may be drawing to a close. Amazon takes control of the upscale grocer on Monday. They intend to slash prices the same day. It's going to go beyond the price of organic avocados and baby kale and rotisserie chickens, all of which will cost less on Monday than on Sunday. It's an outsized way for Jeff Bezos to announce his plan to shake up the grocery industry and take on the competitors like Walmart and Kroger. Well, Bezos has proven to be incredibly greedy and incredibly disturbing. I don't have skin cancer. You keep saying that. I don't have that. Jeff Bezos is a man who, if you see him laugh, you immediately know that there's something wrong with this person. As soon as Amazon was first appeared on the public traded stock, he pocketed $17 billion and put it in his bank account. We do have proof of people watching on UHF. Unfortunately, it comes in. That's right. Skin cancer is nothing to joke about. Good point. Unfortunately, our information comes in with people who have links that are completely removed. Mark removes all URLs from guests. You cannot send a URL link in here as a guest. You just can't. It won't come in. And all those people that send proof, their links are removed, so we can't verify it. I am a household name in China. Yes, my picture does hang on the room and walls. Yes. Let me explain who I am and what I'm all about. I'm a person who's actually generating bigger buzz than Barack Obama, because I really truly believe that we have a common goal across the globe, and that is to fix this terrible, destructive environment. But we can't destabilize our economies to make that happen. Now, Barack Obama never could articulate that simple fact. He wanted to put the cost of this, the burden of this, on carbon point legislation and cap and trade. And the Democrats are still clinging to that as a solution. But in no way is it going to be a solution, because it's going to cost our economies money, and people are going to profit from the carbon point legislation. And it's been proven. The Copenhagen Treaty was an example where a very powerful family that owns almost everything in the world, named the Rothschilds, openly converted Agenda 21 plans to a way to make money. And they continue to allow pollution with the cap and trade method. A company can be producing tremendous pollution and still augment it with a dairy cow digester that makes electricity out of dairy feces or the feces of cows. That's not exactly solving the toxic waste streams going into the rivers. So innovation is at the center of my secret to solving our problems. And I believe a green, clean technology revolution, including solar power, is right around the corner. Cheaper solar panel plans, ways of getting your rooftop hooked up with solar panels, All of these are part of our plan. Now, Jeff Bezos, in my opinion, is an incredibly greedy guy. What he does to Whole Foods, I don't know what, where, or how that'll evolve, but he has not made a comment. He has not made a comment about genetically modified food, and that makes him suspicious to me, because GMOs have been causing tumors in laboratory animals and doesn't look good for humans. Yet nobody in the grocery industry is really stepping out. No big players are stepping out against GMOs. Jeff Bezos will redeem himself if he makes a declarative like Trader Joe's has of eliminating genetically modified food from their lineup of food that they sell at their store. But listen to his laughter. It really gets under people's nerves when they hear this incredibly rich guy, who's almost the richest guy in the world, start laughing.
To be a chef, maybe you want to be a dancer. I don't know what you want to do.
I'm not sure my boss is going to like that.
But you do need to follow your passions.
Right.
I would love for it to be after I'm dead.
40 minutes with you, it's already clicking down. We're going to use every one, so no droning on. Okay?
I see what you did.
No, that's coming up too, but that was actually not supposed to be a bad pun. And then disclosure, you are an investor in Business Insider,
yes,
which is wonderful.
A happy investor, thank
you. It is great.
Best midnight snack while you're brainstorming?
I'm asleep at midnight.
That's important, isn't it? That's really good. A guy like you actually gets to sleep. That's good.
Asleep.
Okay, so not a lot of people are laughing with Jeff. That's the problem. He's just completely in his own world laughing. And you hope he passes away, okay? You're that angry at his incredible greed. Congress quietly passed a bill allowing warrantless searches of homes. Only 1% of our Congress opposed this. Oh, isn't that great? Yeah, we're not going to respond to any ridiculous claims about pornos, okay? Thank you. Jeez. So somebody's in our chat room talking about how they want to do a porno in the White House. I mean, it's crazy. All right, we're looking at Congress quietly passing a bill. A bill that will allow homes to be searched without a warrant was passed with overwhelming support by the U.S. Congress and signed into law by Trump. And it happened with no media coverage and very little fanfare. Thank you. It's a birthmark. On the surface, House Joint Resolution 76 looks harmless. The title of the bill claims that its purpose is granting the consent and approval of Congress, the Commonwealth of Virginia, the State of Maryland, and the District of Columbia to enter into a compact related to the establishment of the Washington Metro Rail Safety Commission. The proposal for a safety commission to act as a wing of the Washington Metropolitan Transit Authority may sound illogical when its power includes such as the ability to adopt, revise, and distribute a written state safety oversight program. Blah, blah, blah. However, there is one major red flag buried within the text of the bill that stems from the list of powers given to the Washington Metro Rail Safety Commission, and it violates one of the basic tenets of the U.S. Constitution. In performing its duties, the Commission, through its board or designated employees or agency, may, upon the WMATA rail system, and upon reasonable notice and a finding by the Chief Executive Officer that a need exists upon any lands, water, and premises adjacent to the rail system, including, without limitation, property owned or occupied by the federal government, for the purpose of making inspections, investigations, examinations, and testing, as the Commission may deem necessary to carry out the purpose of the MSC compact, and such entry shall not be deemed a trespass. So if you live near the Metro Rail section in that area, Washington, your house will be inspected and investigated without a warrant. So they're trying to slowly break down the very fabric of our Constitution. Blackface will not be disavowed. No, I had to do the blackface because I was not getting any kind of credible attention from the media. And it became obvious that I had to perform a satire about Barack Obama because he was such a New World Order puppet. And I couldn't have done it in whiteface. Do you comb or brush your hair? I just kind of let it dry. You know, I wash it and then let it dry on my head. It's not disgusting. No, in fact, it's hilarious. And people find it funny as hell. All right, so some of you have been wondering what kind of person I am and how do I work out? What do I do to stay healthy? Well, I don't sit on my ass and watch TV, because that's brainwashing, for one. And I don't sit there talking to fat old guys who control the world and the New World Order, for two. I mean, I don't waste my time sitting on my chair making comments. I'm working out all the time. I work out. And I perform a type of martial arts that keep me, you know, pretty active. And that's part of how I've been able to stay healthy. It's one of those things that I guess anybody can do. I also swim 30 minutes a day. The blackface, the original blackface, was a thing called marmot, something like that. It was a vegetable seasoning beef substitute. Marmot, I think. Anyway, I don't really know what it was, other than some vegetable protein of some sort. The next blackface I did in 2014 is also at my website. You can look at that. It's our YouTube site, and you can check out our past cooking shows for good ideas on how to save money. Today I made 3 fish tacos for $3. I didn't perform racism. There was no racism in the videos that I made. No. I've never racially slurred a black person in my life. I'm an integrationist. And it was a very deep, soul-searching thing I had to do in order to do the blackface. Because I knew that there would be a reaction, but I was looking for a reaction. I needed people to react. We're sitting here almost nullified in our minds, thinking everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be great, when we're not. Yeah, youtube.com/David John Sponheim. You can check out a lot of those cooking shows. I've got tons of them. Somebody came in our show last week and said that they just fed 150 people with my recipes for a wedding for $50. And I feel kind of good about that, because they saved a lot of money, and they didn't have a lot of money to get married, yet everybody enjoyed their meals. No, Nukashima, you say blackface was a publicity stunt? No, I needed to satire the current president. It was important that I do a satire of Barack Obama at the time. If compromising my professionalism meant doing that to get the word out, because nothing got my word out, I don't think you understand how censored America is. I don't think you get it. It's almost like we're in North Korea. An average American's not going to get into television without some long, serious attempts to, I guess it's who you know and who you blow. That's what I've heard. Other than that, you're not going to get in. And if you're a person who goes against the grain like I do, you're not going to get any TV coverage whatsoever. So I had to do something unique, and it was the only thing in the grab bag that I could have done at the time. And it really did work. So it is marketing genius is what it is. And if you're saying I sacrificed my professionalism, I don't think so. This entire 15,000 hours of broadcasting that I've done for the past 8 years has constantly put me to the test. And I'm going to be probably made fun of for years to come because of all the videos we've done and all the times I've had to be a little different to keep politics alive. I'm not seeking TV coverage. I'm seeking a chance to open the dialogue on politics. The system we have is not working, and it's not producing good quality ideas and good quality people in politics. It's completely, for a lack of a better word, constipated. So I was, by doing blackface, I was stepping out of the box. And you know something? Other people have done. Robert Downey Jr. has done blackface before me. He wasn't called a racist. There have been a lot of people who've done blackface, and it wasn't some brand new concept that somebody had come up with. In fact, it's a part of our history. And it's another reason why I don't want any statues taken down in our country. Because the Confederate statues are up there for a reason. They're there to remember a period of time in our history and reflect back on what happened. And if we start taking statues down, there's going to be numerous riots across the nation. If Charlottesville decides to take down that statue that they already had a riot about, they're going to have nothing but problems with both sides of the political spectrum. So if Trump was a good president right now, he wouldn't be blaming Mitch McConnell for his own stupidity, for not including my ideas, which he stole, like the mobile medical unit, in the health care bill. He never, ever included it in the health care bill. He didn't sell the health care bill. Trump did not do anything to push it. Now he's naming and blaming Mitch McConnell and trying to dump him out of the Senate. No, Mitch McConnell's got way too much tenure on you, Mr. Trump, and he will basically put a quorum of senators against you in an impeachment in the next 6 months. I guarantee it. So if you think you're playing a game where you attack the messenger with the lack of intelligence, Donald Trump, you're not cutting it. Now, without installing good ideas in any of these plans that you're stealing from me, you're not actually helping the country. You're actually wasting time. Okay, Roger Stone is now putting a veiled threat. Now, you probably know him as the WikiLeaks guy and a CIA convert, the person who's been working on the side. Now he's making a veiled threat to anybody in Congress, much like Trump and his bullying in his tweets. Check this out. I'm sorry, our website cannot possibly give you this information. Let me go to another one. Roger Stone, any politician who votes to impeach Trump would be endangering their own life. If this isn't a veiled threat from somebody who needs to be arrested, I don't know what is. That is a veiled threat from somebody who's threatening our Congress from impeaching a man who is willingly stealing ideas from me, selling his soul to Russia, because we know the Russian connection is very real, committing obstruction of justice, taking bribes like he did from Betsy DeVos to give her the Secretary of Education position, even though she's not qualified. She gave him $9.5 million, she gave Trump. And all the other crimes of conflict of interest, doing business in the White House. And this guy has the kahunas to threaten every politician out there? Wow. Somebody needs to arrest this man. Okay, as you know, nobody has ever made it through this unbelievable, unparalleled hate that comes in on our show on a nightly basis. And I've done this show for, I would say, well, 9 years, going on 9 years, 15,000 hours. I have never really seen the level of vitriol coming out of the chat that I see today. And it's because people are frustrated. They're not happy with anything that they're getting. Trump should be jailed for what he's doing right now, let alone threatening Congress for impeaching him. This guy, Roger Stone, definitely needs to reevaluate what he's doing.
People are even calling for like impeachment already and that sort of stuff. Do you think there's any chance that he might be impeached?
The people who are calling for impeachment are the people who didn't vote for him. They need to get over it. They lost. Their candidate had every advantage. She spent $2 billion. He spent $275 million. Sorry, he whipped her ass. It's over. You lost. Try to impeach him. Just try it. You will have a spasm of violence in this country.
Okay, I don't want to listen to this piece of vile shit talk. This turncoat who's willing to sell secrets for cash. This guy is not the kind of person you want to even deal with. But for a pundit like him to get news and I get nothing, he's making veiled threats to our Congress. He's threatening them over what they need to do, which is to impeach Donald Trump for his crimes and misdemeanors. High crimes and misdemeanors. There's been a recall alert. You know, ever since Trump traded 38 trademarks with China for a Chinese chicken, the chickadee China, the Chinese chicken, coming into our country. Now we're seeing more recalls. Now, I don't know if this is connected to China, but I can tell you, chicken is a serious subject, and for American to be eating chicken prepared in China now is crazy. That's weird. Espresso Food, a Montreal, Quebec establishment, is recalling 20,000 pounds of imported chicken. Where's it imported from? The fully cooked chicken skewer items were packaged on August 9th and 15th. Possible listeria. West End grilled Mediterranean-style skewers. Fresco grilled garden chicken skewers. They were shipped in retail locations in Arizona, Connecticut, Florida, Illinois, Maryland, Michigan, and Texas. The inspector, during a routine inspection of foreign shipments, discovered this. Okay, so it's a foreign shipment. Listeria can cause a fever, muscle aches, headache, stiff neck, confusion, loss of balance, and convulsions. Okay, no known source of origin. That's the problem. We don't know where the chicken's coming from anymore. Imported, you know? We're getting chicken from China. Yeah, welcome. My numbers are not declining. Power J, you're a person who's jealous that I've been able to do this, and every time you come in here, you try to degrade our show. I'm complaining about censorship and lack of coverage because the guy who runs this network made $13 million keeping people from getting in the show. I should normally have 10,000 viewers here. And you notice the hit counter, the view count doesn't exist on my site. He can't control it anymore. He blocked it out. I have a copy of the original hit counter, but Sarah got rid of it. Okay. I guess I don't have a copy of it. We had a confirmation of over 680 million views on this site. 1,000 times more than the next competitor. And that information has been completely covered up by this guy who's made $13.7 million censoring me. That's why I'm still concerned. If I had not been censored over the past 2.5 years by Mark Vaughn, I probably would have had tons of donations. I probably would have had a larger viewership in America, and this entire effort would have been real and legit at every level, because we needed mainstream media attention during the previous 3 elections. But do you see me giving up? No, you don't. Because I believe that this effort is going to someday make a huge difference. And it's that vision that I have that will keep me going well beyond my time here. Okay, so Nuku, we're going to ask you to leave or just shut up. Okay? Because we have a feeling that your name, number one, is very derogatory to Japanese people. In fact, I'm not going to just mute you. I'm going to ban you. All right? The Japanese people have to now move back into their homes in Fukushima. It's insane to have to do that. And Vika, this is ridiculous. You keep coming in here putting links, and I'm going to ban you next. Yeah, my next one will be a ban, Vika. I have to. The thing is, I cannot respond to the same person stalking our show every night under new usernames. Yeah, different world we're living in now. Can't keep up. Okay, a suspect has been shot after pulling a gun on a Tennessee police dispatcher. Let's take a look. TBI special agents are investigating the circumstances that led to an officer-involved shooting that occurred Thursday morning in Tennessee, Jericho. A male suspect showed up at the Jericho Police Department and pointed a gun at the dispatcher. The suspect is Darren Asmus, and then left the police department and fled into a nearby neighborhood. Upon the arrival of the officers, 2 residents inside the home confirmed that the subject was there. Officers evacuated the 2 residents and ordered Asmus to come out. He repeatedly refused to comply with commands. Officers deployed tear gas. A short time later, he ran outside, confronted officers with a gun. 2 officers fired, striking him. He was airlifted to the University of Tennessee Medical Center for treatment. It remains an active, ongoing investigation. Thank you. Well, at least he's not dead. I'm keeping it up every day. In fact, this show has not skipped a beat for 8 years. I've taken no vacations. When we were on vacation 6 years ago, we went out and hit the town with our video and went into McDonald's and every Wi-Fi spot we could find. America's a mess. Have-nots wait much longer. Millennials are going to crack. Yes. There are people in this country that don't want to work. And it's not a surprise to me that they don't want to work. We saw this coming. They've been engineered for failure. Yet everybody wants to be a billionaire, and they all want to have this idea that, you know, they're going to be somehow worth a fortune like Donald Trump thinks he is. So you all think you want to be rich. That's why apparently Donald Trump won the attention of a lot of people. Because they all want to be a billionaire. They all want to be incredibly rich. Billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars. Everybody wants more and more money. Yeah. Except me. I don't really care about money. And I'm not sure why I was on a different planet than you, but I understand why people want money. It helps, it makes life a lot easier. But Trump wants more and more and more, and that's what all these rich, super rich people want. They want more. They cannot put up with a little less. And that's a common ingredient in America right now. Well, the Latvian girl appearing on the screen would stir things up. We were approached by appears to be a Russian spy of some sort. I don't believe that she was legitimately watching our show, but some people do. But she had a flash where she came in a couple times. There were instances where she did this a visit to our show, and it was fun. I enjoyed it, but you know, nothing happened, and she's no longer in our show. This is the woman that came into our show from Latvia. We've had experts analyze her voice, and they believe that she's Russian.
Hey David, Latvians love you. David Sponheim for president 2020.
Hey everyone, I'm from Latvia. David, you are huge in Latvia. So many thousands watch you here. We hope when you become president in 2020, you will come visit. David Sponheim for president.
Hey, since people in the chat didn't believe that I'm Latvian, hey, te nu es esmu latvieta, un es nevienam nemeloju, un es runāju latviski, tā jā, davai, aiziet, kā jums visiem iet.
Hey David, thanks for keeping me awake while I slay my night shift. The chat has been very fun lately, and you've been very entertaining.
All right, so what do you make of that? She's beautiful. She's way more beautiful than most women. And she came into our show and then left. So I'm not really sure what's going on. She claimed she was 22 and she really liked us, but I never said that, man. That's a misquote. I never said anything of the sort. I don't know who she is, but the bottom line is it all happened when I was exposing Russia's connection to Donald Trump. And a couple of weeks ago, we actually got hacked on our attempted hack on our Facebook account from Russia. USA man had a license suspended 81 times. How does this happen? Good question. Long Island, New York. Apparently people are driving with the DUIs and then suspension and license, and, you know, a lot of countries.
This half hour, 81 license suspensions. But police say a Medford man was still driving around until yesterday. News 12 Long Island's Talia Kaplan live in Patchogue with how he was caught. Talia.
Apparently, it's all thanks to a license plate reader. Now, 21-year-old Dylan Garcia of Medford is being held here at the 5th Precinct this morning. He is expected to face a judge in Central Islip today for his arraignment. Now, police say he was caught driving with 81 suspensions on his license. Now, this is exactly how he was caught. Police say A highway patrol officer was monitoring traffic with a plate reader on Sunrise Highway in Oakdale yesterday afternoon when it indicated that the license plate on his car was suspended. Garcia was pulled over at exit 46. Police say that's when they discovered Garcia's license has been suspended 81 times on 8 different occasions. Now, according to his Facebook page, Garcia is an amateur MMA fighter. He has been charged with aggravated unlicensed operation of a motor vehicle. His car has been impounded. Now, I asked Suffolk Police why he had 81 suspensions on his license. They're looking into it, and of course, we will keep you updated. Reporting live in Patchogue
County, Long Island. It's Long Island, everybody. Yeah, it's serious when our country is allowing people with suspended licenses to drive. But in our state of Washington, there is no denial of the right to fair passage and transport. And the police are frustrated because the technical constitutional right to transport your body around is more than just a privilege, it's a right. And they can't take that away from people even with suspended licenses. So there's some real litigatory issues that have never been sorted out in New Jersey and other states like Washington. I talked to a bunch of people who were selling medical marijuana, and a couple of them said that they had been pulled over and they were ordered to take a blood test. They said they wouldn't do it because they felt that they probably were high. So they just had their license taken away. So now when they drive to work to their medical marijuana or recreational marijuana supply store job, they don't drive with a license because the laws are so very punitive to people, and the levels of marijuana or THC in your bloodstream that are required are so very low that you could smoke a joint and then 2 days later still have that in your system, unable to drive. So there's a very big divide between what's happening and what should be. I don't like the VW bus prototype, no. I grew up in a VW bus. I spent 2 years living in a Volkswagen bus. And I can tell you, it actually was a disappointment when I looked at it. I want a second floor. I mean, there's so many things they can do. They've got hydraulic abilities. They could build a hydraulic unit. They could open up a tent and give you a second room on top of the vehicle. I mean, there's so many things they could do with buses that they're not doing. It's kind of a disappointment. I think it's a cool design. I'm glad that they did it, but let me see if I still have the VW bus up. Yep, no VW on this line. Yep. If I want to look for it, it's not worth looking for. This is a car we drive. We drive this little Honda Insight. It's pretty cool. I bought one for Sarah that looks like this, and I have one that identical, except mine has a racing stripes down the side, and mine's a 5-speed. Hers is a automatic. It's very nice. Gets 45 to 60 miles per gallon, depending on what kind of vehicle you have. Here's a cool VW makeover. Scissorfight found this and put our sticker on it. That would be the ultimate VW bus. If they went in that direction, it would have been better. But whatever. We all have a view of what is good and what isn't good. Living in a van is actually a growing tendency among older people right now. If you want to stand there and violate your religious beliefs and judge everyone, go right ahead. But if you want to look at the reality that a lot of people are getting older and don't have a place to live, living in a van might be an alternative. So, pull over. Mercedes-Benz police truck. Wow. They spare no expense, do they? Pretty nice. And of course, self-driving vehicles are the thing of the future, which I think it's very unsafe still. Tesla didn't lose any sleep when somebody died in a Tesla, thinking that the car was going to drive them. They've had a few incredible collisions of people impacted by these vehicles. A apparently they haven't worked out the kinks, and a couple new companies are coming out with even better software that's more adaptable to the current vehicles we have. I mean, it's possible that someday you'll be able to pull your steering wheel off and put in a computer system that will drive and hit your accelerator and brake accordingly, and it'll be a one package deal. You'll be able to retrofit your car to drive you for a set fee. That's the newest thing in self-driving cars. Yeah, it's pretty powerful BMW there. Okay, we got the recall under control. Suspect shot. Congress quietly passing a bill for warrantless wireless or warrantless searches of homes. God, just and never ending. And Texas is in the eye of a storm right now. Hurricane Harvey is on its way. It's poised to be the first major test of disaster response for the Trump administration. Okay. No regional food supplies, just like we were back in George W. Bush time. They won't be able to get food directly to the people like I've been wanting to do. I had this idea in 2009, which would be revolutionary, that would provide airdrops of food and water in any emergency situation at any time. And this is certainly something that could be a big success. But Trump doesn't have, he never stole this idea. So he doesn't have any new ideas. It could wipe Brownsville off the map. I seriously worry. Okay, we got your truck image politics, thanks. You're kind of overdoing the link there. So sending food and water to people is essential, and having this ability by plane is even more important. Hit one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to take a call from a friend.
Okay. Okay. Take your time. There's no. Oh, you did. Okay, great. Even better. Thank you. Okay, Jason, what's up?
Hey, can you play Mr. Right?
Yeah, let's play Mr. Right now. Appreciate it. Talk to you later.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome.
Good night. Thanks for the show.
All right,
Bye.
Jason, bye. Okay, yes, Mr. Right coming on up. This is a song I put together with some software I found with the help of Scissor Fight. He directed me to this company called Magix, and you can make your own software, or you make your own music with it, and it's free. It's amazing. Magix.com. Here's Mr. Right.
You're Mr. Right, my Mr. Right, too good to be true. You spin my world around, 'cause you're the peace I find. If you sweep me off my feet, my heart stops to beat, 'cause you make me melt away. You're Mr. Right, my Mr. Right, too good to be true. My world around, 'cause you're the peace I find. You sweep me off my feet, my heart stops to beat, 'cause you make me melt away. My feet, my heart stops to beat, 'cause you make me melt away. You're Mr. Right, my Mr. Right, too good to be true.
Okay, that was Mr. Right. Quick sampler. For the record, I don't have skin cancer, so these people that keep saying this, absolutely ridiculous statement. It's absurd. Everyone's trying to pick at me. It's like they can't come up with anything negative about me, so they got to make up stories. And we've got other music too that's actually gotten really high in the charts, over 70 worldwide charts for a hip hop beat music. A really cool song developed by Scissor Fight called "Can't Stop." We'll play that too.
We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop, we can't stop. We can't stop, we can't stop. We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop.
So let's be clear. In this coming election year, vote for David Sponheim. America's reporting.
For president. Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop.
First we hit 'em low, then we hit 'em high. Underrated, but we made it to the finish line. Rhymes designed to combine and intertwine. Spring to the summer, fall, even winter time. Beats banging harder, then hit on collision. You're making sense with precision and quick decisions. Causing double visions. If you ain't up to speed, you need to speed it up. Harder, piano read.
Can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop and we won't stop.
In this coming election year, vote for David Sponheim. America's reporting.
Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop.
Yes, who is this? Who is this? Hello. Okay, hang on, Duncan. Let me just get out of the song here. Thank you. Hold on. Okay, we're on with Duncan from Georgia. Hello, Duncan. What's going on? What would you like to talk about?
Hello, I'd like to apologize for the other night. My friend Tim was being a little rude. He didn't turn down the volume very nicely.
Okay, good. Well, you guys, you have a lively household, that's for sure. I remember hearing him in the background. Must have been good. Wow. Okay.
I would just like to apologize.
Well, thank you for apologizing. That's really cool. I'll take your calls anytime if you want to ask any questions in the future or whenever. So feel free.
How's it going?
It's going pretty good. We've been pretty successful tonight. I do this Thursday show, which is stressful because I cook a dinner, and then I come in here and do the technology show. So it's a lot of stuff, and making a cooking show is not easy. So.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you very much, Duncan. It is Duncan, right?
Yes, Duncan, correct.
All right. Well, good. Well, feel free to call anytime from this number if you have any other questions.
Okay, Mr. Sponheim. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay. Duncan apologized because they had a phone situation where if you have your volume up in the background, it's a problem. We can't hear you and it's echo, and they got that under control. Okay. I don't think this person was not an adult. They sounded like an adult to me. And technically, I'm not putting their face on the screen, so, you know, technically people can talk. Well, it doesn't sound like a 12-year-old to me. It sounded like a young, upstanding person. Bellingham, Dow stall exposed by Jada. Birmingham, sorry. Why are we covering UK politics here? Oh, that's right. America's been at war for 222 out of 239 years. We cover all the world's politics.
We're only trying to have a conversation. Can I just say one thing? Christianity and Islam are exactly, and there are two religions that have the same, they have the, what's it called?
You don't have
the same similarities. You're picking and choosing what you want to pick from the Quran. Like, no, you're acting like...
This is what Muslims really believe about Jesus.
No, this isn't a God.
He says, Jesus is not a proper God. So they have these religious conversations now in England, and the imam is denouncing Jesus. You know, this is called freedom of speech, and people do have conflicts like this, but this is what England wanted when they allowed all kinds of illegal immigration to come into their country. Now, Donald Trump is trying to follow my plan with the no refugee plan, but he's singling out Muslims. He's openly singling them out, which is a big mistake because it violates their freedom of speech and freedom of religion. And the recent travel ban, too, is probably going to be ruled out in October when the SCOTUS gets it, the Supreme Court of the United States. They're probably going to say it's a violation of freedom of speech. I practically am assured of that. Which means we're going to have a flood of people who've been kicked out of the country for the past 6 months in October with green cards that'll be coming in all of a sudden for Christmas. Thanks, Donald, for screwing up my idea. You know, you can call Islam whatever you want. It's really irrelevant. The fact is they are pursuing a belief system. Okay? And the fact that you're trying to inhibit that is going against the grain of our Constitution, and you Republicans ought to be ashamed of yourself. I'm not an apologist for Muslims. I don't want jihadists gathering in certain enclaves, but Trump, he's letting them live there. There's like 24 encampments in the United States with jihadists living behind closed doors, locked with munitions and ordnance, and they keep buying more. And Trump isn't doing another thing about it. The system is corrupt. He got selected. I got censored. Okay? That's what happened. You deal with it. You put a corrupt man in the White House, you're to blame, not me. I've been trying to get noticed for the past 6 or 8 years, actually 9 years now, and you continue to defend Donald Trump, who continues to perpetuate the war machine which he inherited from the previous New World Order president, Barack Obama. He dropped his plans of prosecuting Hillary, he dropped his plans of prosecuting Obama. He basically sucked up to Kissinger, and now he's basically Kissinger's bitch. Now, he's got a little problem of his own. He has good relations with Russian oligarchs. He likes to sell condos to these people, and they like to manipulate him. So Russia is a big, big issue, which is going to continue to haunt Donald Trump's fledgling joke of a presidency. But he's got a few things up his sleeve since America has been at war for 222 of the 239 years since 1776. He's got a couple things he's going to try to deploy. He's going to try to do what is called Operation Distraction. That's his goal. And I'm calling it Operation Distraction, for lack of another word, but what it is he's going to come up with anything at all to break your awareness of what's happening with Russia. He'll start a verbal war with North Korea. God. He'll start he'll continue to double the size of troops in Afghanistan. He'll even have his friend George Soros start a riot in Charlottesville. George Soros and Donald Trump are close friends, you know. You didn't know that? You're an idiot. In fact, Soros gave him $160 million in an investment and is covering a $250 million line of credit for Jared Kushner right now. Okay, we're going to remove you from the show. And by the way, there's no zit on my nose. Yeah, it's a camera angle. It's strictly a camera angle. Yep. No, George isn't spending a lot of money against Trump. In case you didn't know, Trump bumbled the Charlottesville event. He didn't know that by not condemning the neo-Nazis, he was making a mistake with the liberal media. He didn't know that. They basically nailed him to the cross. He had no idea that that's what was going to happen. There's no need for contouring powder because, as you can see, my nose is not a zit. It's just the way the light hits it from these angles. It's ridiculous. You have anal warts? Oh, that's too bad. Lots of undercover Trump tards in here, yeah. So they support Trump because he is essentially echoing their anger and hatred toward people of different colors. He's encouraging racism. And when Charlottesville was put on by George Soros, when he contracted that rioter, the Jason Kiesler, who was a former Occupy Wall Street riot organizer, who went out and joined the KKK for a day. Yeah, seriously, he put this thing together. So Charlottesville was designed to take your mind off of North Korea. And Afghanistan is designed to take your mind off of Charlottesville. And what's next? Is he going to attack another country? Is he going to threaten Kim Jong-un again? Because he can always pull North Korea out to continue the distraction from what's really happening, which is Russia. Nope, no loss of hair. I have the same amount of hair I had in 2008. I can prove it. I have a picture of me in 2008 talking to the camera. There's no zit on my nose. My nose tips slightly in the left direction. It's so funny that you say that. Okay. Thank you. Well, all these designed plans and rioting events are designed to not only take your mind off of things, they're designed to drive a wedge between you and form anger and hostility between everybody you know. So if you hate your Republican friends or your Democrat friends, it's going to make you hate them even more. Yeah, here I was in 2008 with the same amount of hair, or 2010.
Hi, I'm David John Sponheim.
That was 17 years ago,
It's been about
or
100
7 years
days
ago.
since Barack Obama took office as President of the United States. In that time period, he spent close to $3.2 trillion. Money we don't have. Money we won't even have in the next 10 years. And I'm beginning to think that he's not the guy for the job.
Okay, so that was what, 2009? That was 7 years ago, or 8 years ago. Yeah, see, I mean, you can't tell me that I'm getting that old and losing my hair. I mean, it's crazy that you say these things. Thank you. Hairline is not different. It's the same. Look, you're just jealous that you don't have billions of dollars like Donald Trump. Because you want to be like a billionaire like Donald, and you want to be rich and have all the money in the world and have all kinds of friends to come over and take you out to Orgy Island where you can spend time with young teenage prostitutes. Hang on.
Accept.
What's up, Jason?
Yeah, so it's been a while since you've told this story. I think it's been almost over 6 weeks now. Do you think you could tell the $25 college story paper?
Absolutely, yeah. I'd be glad to tell it. Thank you. All right. Jason called and reminded me that I had a situation where I was a victim of reverse prejudice. And I wanted everyone to know that this is a serious situation. It happens a lot. I was in a class at UCLA taught by a person who, a Jewish professor who worked at UCLA, had a massive library. I remember going into his house, having the class in his house. looked at all his books, every single book on the free speech movement, civil rights movement, every single book that was ever written. And we were in the class for a couple hours, took a break, and I walked outside, got some fresh air, and some black guy walks up to me. And thank you. And he walked up to me and he said, do you know anything about the civil rights movement? And I said, yeah, I know quite a bit. I've been studying the free speech movement, the Students for a Democratic Society. And he just said, Whitey, you don't know nothing about the civil rights movement. Whitey. He called me Whitey, okay? It's like, okay, I'm not looking for anger here. I'm not trying to cause any problems. I said, well, you said I don't know nothing, which means I know something, because that's a double negative. And he went, huh? And it's like he didn't understand what I was saying. You can't say no and expect it to be anything other than yes. I do know about the civil rights movement. He didn't understand what I was saying. He reeled and he said, you want to know what kind of grade I'm going to get on my paper? And I went, I don't know, a B, C. I'm going to get an A+. You want to know how? Because you're smart? Because I paid $25 for my paper and it's going to guarantee me an A+. And I'm going, what the, I couldn't believe it. It's like, okay, we'll find out. We'll see what happens. And sure enough, he got an A+ on that paper. And I think I got a B+, or a B, or a solid B. And I worked hard on my paper, but he bought his paper for $25, and he was so proud of himself that he bought that paper. And it showed me the huge divide between our races, really. I mean, he thought that the civil rights movement had something to do with black people, when it's about civil rights. Yeah. It's not about black people. It's about civil rights. And people don't understand that civil rights equate to every single race. Every single person is protected. He didn't understand that. And it's very disturbing that people continue to believe that somehow the civil rights movement was a democratic thing. Okay. But what in reality the civil rights movement was passed by Republicans. Ironically, Democrats didn't want the civil rights movement to pass, the Civil Rights Act. I don't get scripts at all from anybody. I'm not a deep state operative. I'm a person who really has a keen understanding of politics in America and is more than willing to talk about it every night with American people. And people from around the world, too, who visit us. So apparently he got his $25 worth. That's the moral of the story. And it's okay to cheat, in his eyes. I just don't know where our country's gone. We've dumbed down our population something terrible. Schools have become indoctrination centers. They no longer create thinking individuals. They create zombies that sit in corporate chairs and push pencils and answer their boss and say, yes, sir, I'll take care of that, sir. Yes, right away, sir. I know a guy who makes $250,000 a year as a salesperson, and he doesn't make any sales. He hasn't made sales in a long, long time. Hey, Allied Signal Corps is watching us. Hello, guys. 652. How's Atlanta treating you? We got Allied Signal Corps in our show on a nightly basis because we've been monitored and censored heavily in our own country for no reason, because I have a clean bill of health when it comes to helping this country. There's no way that I could have gotten any attention at all like I'm getting right now from the UHF viewership around the world if I hadn't done the blackface video. Believe me, when I first did the blackface video in 2008, impersonating Barack Obama, creating a character called Broke Insane Obamas, I felt weird about it because I'm an integrationist. I believe people should get along and cohabitate. You know, I don't want to force integration, but I think we should all, communicate. And I don't really believe in hate speech being illegal. If a person's angry and they don't want to call me Whitey, I don't mind. I don't care. Whitey's not going to hurt my personal view of myself. You can call me honky, cracker, white bread, whatever you want to call me. It doesn't matter. It's all protected under the free speech of this great nation. And because I did the blackface video, I encountered this real weird white guilt coming out of the Democrats. They don't understand how important it is to do free speech. They don't even get free speech. They don't even understand how important it is. So naturally, they want people to take down Confederate statues. They don't want KKK people to rally in Charlottesville. The Democrats want everyone to just shut up and abide by their commie socialist ways. But that's not how it's working. We've got Trump as an example of how it's backfired on the Democrats under Obama. But Trump is in the far right now, fomenting hatred, fomenting hostility, which is exactly what the New World Order wants. They want a puppet like Trump to get people all riled up and pissed off so that we could have riots in the streets of America so they can justify martial law and then start incarcerating us one by one. That's what's really going on. He's very divisive, and they like that. That's why they put him there. They don't want a person like me who's willing to talk on every single issue and touch down on every issue from both sides. They don't want that. They want a guy who's veritably illiterate, unable to read, sit there and tweet spelling errors left and right like he did last night. He had more spelling errors. This guy's unreal. He's not even spell checking his tweets. That's how shameful this man as a president is. He doesn't even use spell check. He doesn't even care about being seen as a legitimate person. He's just a hack sitting there. God knows what else he's doing besides tweeting, because it couldn't be more than golf and having a little, affair with his girlfriend. So you're wondering, who is his girlfriend? Well, Trump has elevated a woman unnaturally in his organization. Her name is Hope Hicks. And she is a beautiful woman. She's now a head strategist and communications director. I mean, she came from nowhere, but apparently they've got a close relationship. So we know that Melania is not staying with him, that they sleep in separate quarters. We know that this whole thing about their marriage is a sham. We're also pretty aware of another thing going on. Apparently the top security agent at Tiffany's is seeing Melania frequently, and Trump is okay with that. Is this the country you expect, you people on the right? Is this the kind of person that you wanted as your president? I don't know. She could be. I don't know. Hope Hicks. I don't even know who she is. I don't even know if she's really good at her job, but I can tell you that it looks a little unnatural, the amount of time he spends with her in the White House. And I understand she was with him in Bennington in New Jersey. She's apparently always around him. I mean, yeah, it's a little unnatural to see people around the president all the time. Like Barack Obama, for 3 years, had a man named Reggie Love practically spending all his time in the Oval Office. It took him 3 years for the media to find out about Reggie Love. No, it's not the Latvian girl, no. But Reggie Love, Reggie, yeah. And then finally, Obama realized, oh, it's a little bit too unnatural for him to have Reggie in the Oval Office. So Reggie went ahead and met with Barack and various other areas. In fact, during the Abbottabad attack, Reggie Love was downstairs playing spades with Barack Obama.
Most people were like down in the Situation Room, and he was like, I'm not going to be down here. I can't watch this entire thing. And so he, myself, Pete, Susan, the White House photographer, Marvin, we must have played 15 games of spades.
Yeah. Well, I mean, playing 15 games of spades, I don't want to hear it again. So he was down there playing spades with his boyfriend, Barack Obama. And you still believe that Barack Obama is a straight Christian man. That's what's really bizarre about a lot of you. Hey, let's move on and talk about space. It'd be kind of cool. Somebody said NASA, there's 100% proof that the solar eclipse wasn't real. I'm curious what this is.
It's really weird because the shadow that's setting in around us is making it feel like a weird twilight that I've not seen before. You know what I'm saying? It feels like it's sunset and shadow.
Okay, yeah. Well, are these the flat earthers that are saying it wasn't real? Is that Paul? Oh, yeah. I don't feature him in our show. He's just obviously in it for the money. I don't think that's worth watching. Thank you. Well, what pastor, what church is he a church of? The church of making money on AdSense? No, you're becoming predictable. So is 937. You're both predictable. Yeah, Trump has the charm of a school bus fire. Whoa. McCain Twitter troll Brenda Leyland killed herself? McCann Twitter troll. Oh, okay. I keep forgetting this guy sends UK news into our show constantly. McCann Twitter troll Brenda Leyland killed herself. The woman who trolled Madeleine McCann's family on Twitter killed herself day after she was challenged by reporters, an inquest concluded. She had tweets about the McCann family between November 13th and September 2014. Madeleine McCann went missing in 2007. She was a little girl, and she was missing in, I believe, Portugal. And this woman, her exposure of the story was like exposing Pizzagate to all of us. And now she killed herself? This doesn't add up. It looks like she was suicided. Whenever somebody's found strung up, you can't tell whether they were garroted and choked and then strung up, or they were really strung up. We don't post links to that piece of vile garbage, and you've been muted for that purpose, along with criticizing our show. Yeah, I don't even know why you're here. Well, I guess you're a KGB agent, Dr. Meow. I should have known. Yeah, so she's probably been killed. She was trying to reveal the Madeleine McCann story about the family that were maybe in on trafficking their child, and then the child was killed in the process of being trafficked to a sexual predator. Suicided means she didn't kill herself, she was killed, and they made it look like suicide. Everything that woman says is delusional and ridiculous. The woman is stalking me. There's a woman in England who's stalking me, and she's making outrageous claims that she can't validate, and it's slander. I would charge her with slander and sue her, but she has no money. So maybe she should just go get some serious help. Well, what this woman was trying to do, obviously, is expose the connection between the parents and the missing child. And this whole story about Madeleine McCann wraps around to what appears to be a connection between her disappearance and the wanted poster of two men right around the time she was the little girl disappeared in 2007. And apparently it wraps around and brings up the Podesta brothers. That the Podesta brothers both fit the bill of the wanted poster in that area, allegedly. And her death adds to the serious question or are they trying to kill off anybody with information or credible stories? So let's take a look here if I can bring this up. You believe the British police and the FBI are human traffickers? Wow, guess 937 just said a mouthful there. You know, I can't confirm or deny any of these alleged statements that we're talking about, but let's see if we have a picture of them. Yeah, here was the original wanted poster in and around the area where Madeleine McCann was lost. Very strange allegations going on here. This woman was found dead in a Leicestershire hotel after an overdose on October 4th. The woman that we were just looking at. Looks very strange. Very vocal person trying to expose this connection. Now you can see the faces of the two wanted people in the disappearance of Madeleine McCann match very closely the faces of John and Tony Podesta. John Podesta was the campaign manager for Hillary Clinton and very powerful. Both of them are very powerful. They run a company called Media Matters, which is at the heart of the whole controversy about Seth Rich, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and the Podesta brothers, and James Alefantis. So if this woman did in fact kill herself, it just seems very suspicious. And again, the government is not investigating any of this. I'm going to say 1 on that one. All right, Sarah has decided to, give me a little help here. Yeah, she's had a big day, so she wants to talk to all of you about trivia. We've held that off for a while.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Amazon is going to lower some prices at their stores.
That's always good.
Yeah. Jeff Bezos is trying to prove that he's not really greedy by lowering prices at Amazon stores and taking away Walmart business. Or he's going to lower the stores at the Whole Foods.
You know what he's trying to take away?
Competition.
Yeah, independent PCC kind of markets.
Oh yeah.
That's what it is.
He's going to try to knock out the organic...
little organic, like the corner store.
Corner health food stores, yeah.
Corner health food stores, yeah. Exactly. The little health food stores that are independently run.
Deep Allen Blues says, David, aren't you the least bit afraid to talk about John Podesta online to your viewers? I'm not afraid of anything or anyone. I've never lived in fear. All my life I've had tremendous courage, and John Podesta and Tony Podesta, the allegations that are still spinning around those two people have a lot of momentum behind them and inertia on the internet. And I can't in any way ignore stories that are vital to finding out the truth. Nor should I be pressured into not seeking impeachment of Donald Trump by Roger Stone's claim that anybody who's going to try to impeach him should be afraid for their life. Roger Stone making that statement is a very, very dangerous, provocative statement which may very well have breached laws. He's virtually threatening anybody with death if they try to impeach Donald Trump.
Who?
Roger Stone, the guy who has been a leak in the WikiLeaks events. He works collaterally with the CIA and other people. And now he's spinning a story that anybody who's seeking impeachment of Donald Trump should fear for their life. And this video from Easy Listening about Melania, that doesn't exist. That link doesn't exist, Easy Listening.
Watch. 6. You forgot some numbers there.
So if this is a chance for you to reflect on issues of the day, this show embodies that. I am not trying to prosecute the Podestas. And I'm certainly adding the word alleged whenever I discuss them. Because technically everybody in this show we talk about is innocent until proven guilty. Okay, I'm going to go have a fish taco. I'll be back. Thank you.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you, David. I'll get the... I like green olives a little bit better. Hate to say so, but it's true. Okay. 36 minutes ago, and Jackson says hello. And Chester too. All right, I'm going to keep reading to you guys some Proverbs. Many hands make light work. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hi, Jackson. Hello, Mad Dog. More counties are ordering evacuations as Harvey is getting nearer. Space station camera captures new views of Hurricane Harvey. Let's look at this video. Oh, one moment. All right, let's see. Maybe David already has a window region. There you go. Now I'll play the video for you. Here's Hurricane Harvey. Wow, that's pretty big. You had to make a separate browser profile just to watch Mixer the other day because they have to force you to have WebRTC enabled. Is it mixer.com? I thought WebRTC has to be enabled. It's not automatically enabled on your browser. There's a near views of Hurricane Harvey. Okay, yes, many hands make light work. Large tasks become small when divided among several people. Oh, you have WebRTC disabled? It's funny because I was wanting to learn how to code with a WebRTC. Yes, I might try to control the show tonight. Texas, take precautions. Forecasters say Hurricane Harvey could bring life-threatening amounts of rain. Some areas could get as many as 35 inches of rain from Hurricane Harvey. So right now he's heading to Corpus Christi again. They are going to Texas. I should call Houston. I have some family members down there. I should probably call and say, hi, I never talked to you, but I heard there's a hurricane heading your way. I hope you're okay. Lots of rain is coming, yes. Marry in haste, repent at leisure. Warning, lots of rain coming in Texas, David writes. All right. Alright, it was a sealed record. Why would we be looking at that? Retracted information? Your dad had a dream recently half of North America was flooded. That global warming, I tell you. U.S. debt numbers, Trump's first 7 months. Wow. Let's look at that. The U.S. debt numbers from Trump's first 7 months are in, and wow. Gateway Pundit has been closely watching the U.S. debt numbers since Trump stepped into office. The results are nothing short of astonishing. The U.S. debt has decreased. According to their report, the U.S. debt has decreased by over $100 billion since January. Really? have to see this. So we should look at the US debt clock and it should be going down. What do I make of the Facebook users? Facebook users hit by total blackout? Like they couldn't access their site? Facebook has rushed to fix a fault after some users in the UK experienced a total blackout. The problem hit the social media giant at 9:45 this morning. People began to report they were unable to access the site on desktop or mobile. The issue arose due to a technical fault, a change in the site's code that left Chrome web browser users unable to get onto the platform. Wow. It's all about the code. That little typo made all those Facebook users unable to access the site. I wish 122, but it takes too much work. I don't know if I want to dedicate the work to doing that. If we marry without thinking about the decision, we will have a lifetime to regret the choice. The meek shall inherit the earth. David said it was the hottest fish taco he's ever had. Hot as in spicy, hot as in temperature, or hot as in, ooh, that tastes good. I don't know if he's actually listening to me in the other room. Hello, Fake Awesome Crow. I know, David is typing in the room. I did not, what I heard about, let's see. Why is the U.S. national debt continuing to grow if he's supposedly cut the debt? Wait, oops. Because see, according to the debt clock, that number is not going down. It's going up. So, what do they mean he cut the debt? I'll have to look. The other place I'll have to look is, I used to go to that site. Huh. What is that a picture of? Politics? Alright, it was, USTreasuryReport.com. Or U.S. Treasury Report. I'll see this. Monthly Treasury Statements. Many people are giving birth at record rates faster than the debt can grow. All right, let's look at fiscal year, October 27. Wait. So we're in June. I'll just look at a PDF of it. Total receipts, $339 billion. This is just for June. Deficit is $90 billion. The deficit through the fiscal year is $523 billion. What was their claim was, I have to go back and do that. U.S. debt. TreasuryDirect.gov. Let's look at that. Why don't they make that a link in their site? Oops. The meek shall inherit the earth. Pushy people do not succeed in the end. The saying is adapted from the Beatitudes of Jesus. I'll just say the meek shall inherit the earth behavior. There you go. That's enough of a circle. Misery loves company. Public debt reports. Daily treasury statement, debt position and activity report. All right. A shark was caught trying to censor David. That's funny. So which one are they saying? Total federal debt. But this is 2016, so yeah, because I can't. They don't have the information to verify this.
So as official, Mad Dog is going to receive our number 4 copy of the book.
Okay.
For sending us all that equipment.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, here.
It'll be a collector's item for him. Yep, and I ordered everything I needed to make that mic work. I got a really nice basket ordered. It's silver, and it'll match the blue mic. And I got a cable for it coming in the mail. And all of it was on eBay for a ridiculously low price of $12 for everything.
Wow.
Yeah, and the lady we went to a retail store for a music store, and she told us that the price of
of hers were similar to the internet.
Yeah.
For her cheapest XLR cable, she wanted $26.45 plus tax.
And the cheapest ones online are $3. So she was lying about that.
We do a 90% markup at our store. It's similar to the internet.
Similar to the internet. We're charging it 90% more than the internet, though. That's what she should have said. I knew that it was ridiculously priced. I said, no, we're not going to pay $25 for an XLR cable. So I went online today and I bought those 2 items. Thank you.
Nice. Good job, David.
Thank you.
All right, I'll check this out later. I'm not gonna look at it right now. Okay. Misery loves company. People who are unhappy may get some consolation from knowing that others are unhappy too. Oh, bye. Hello, Busy. Nice to see you. Iran is boasting on uranium enrichment and serves as a warning to Trump. A miss is as good as a mile. Germany repatriates 20 billion in Cold War gold from France and the US. Wow. Wow. Hi, Nick. So they brought it back, over 53,000, almost 54,000 gold bars, each weighing 12.5 kilograms and worth over 440,000 euros have been shipped to Germany over the last 4 years, said the bank. Yes, self-driving lorries to be tested on UK roads. Convoys of partially driverless lorries will be tried out on British roads by the end of next year. I don't doubt it at all. I actually don't think of it as a negative. I think it's a good thing. David, of course, will disagree, but whatever. That's because we're different people. Possibly. I don't think that's going to happen 224. But I actually think it's a good thing because less mistakes happen with well-programmed robots. Now Germany says they will not follow the USA orders in NATO and want all USA nuclear warheads out of their country. If only you can meet a woman like me. Oh, I so hope you do someday. Volunteer at schools. Then you can meet a nice teacher. Can make copies for the teacher. She'll be like, thank you, you're such a lifesaver. You made those copies for me. And you'll say, did you say you want to go to coffee? Oh, I would love a cup of coffee. Yes. And it wouldn't be Misery Loves Company. It wouldn't be a miss is as good as a mile either. A near miss is still a miss and therefore no better than missing by a great margin. Losing a game by 1 point is still losing. That's so sad. Like, don't you worry, you know, they put in so much effort. You once volunteered in a med school as a skeleton. Was it for them to see your radioactive anatomy? I don't know if I trust that link, Politics for Dummies. Oh, big bone structure. Try losing by 1/1000th of a second. Oh, that's not good. They nearly missed. No, a near miss is a miss. No. If you nearly missed, that means you made it. Money is the root of all evil. Oh, I think I said this one before. Oh, the more extreme version, of course, is the love of money is the root of all evil. Sorry, Periscope audio is choppy. It's because I don't talk all the time. It's because I sometimes stop in between my words. Whereas David, it probably isn't as choppy because he never stops talking. The more, the merrier. Yeah. Oh, is that what they got when Facebook was down? It might be temporarily down, or it may have moved permanently to a new web address. You can be tough on me, that's fine. All right, the more that people there are involved in something, the more fun it will be. The more the merrier is often used to welcome those who wish to participate in an activity, but hesitate to join in uninvited. That's true, Dr. Meow. And if there are no people of the opposite gender around. Weak. No. All right. Murder will out. Crime or wrongdoing will eventually be discovered and punished. Music has charms to soothe a savage beast. I kind of like that. Music is such a nice thing. It's true. I might have yoga pants, but I don't really know where they are because I never really wear them, except I do wear like them to bed, so maybe that's it. Those are probably yoga pants. Okay. Yes. Oh, yes, it is Savage Breast, not Savage Beast. And you think it's the love of evil. Let me say that again the right way. Music has charms to soothe a savage breast. Music has the power to enchant even the roughest of people. This proverb comes from the play The Mourning Bride by William Congreve, an English author of the late 17th and early 18th centuries. You're getting deep. You're going to sleep. I'll go with whatever David says on that one, 310. Necessity is the mother of invention. A need or problem encourages creative efforts to meet the need or solve the problem. This saying appears in the dialogue Republic by the ancient Greek philosopher Plato. All right. Never give a sucker an even break. Don't hesitate to take advantage of a fool. This saying served as the title for one of the films of the comedian W.C. Fields. Never put off tomorrow what you can do today. In other words, don't procrastinate. It reminds me of what somebody said. I've always wanted to procrastinate, but I never got around to it. I know, I don't like that. Never give a sucker an even break. I really don't like that. It's in the book Cultural Literacy, the new dictionary of cultural literacy that is completely revised and updated. What every American needs to know. That's why. Apple's hidden job ad found online? Yes, indeed. Can we do trivia? What shall I go to a different... You don't like the proverbs? All right. Good. No, I haven't. Never say die. What does that mean? Proverbs are boring. You want to do Deuteronomy instead. You know what's better than Proverbs? Or more boring than Proverbs? Numbers. Yes, never surrender. Never give up. Correct. What does it mean to you that a new broom sweeps clean? A new boss? Yep, it is basically that. It's said when a new boss is hired. New leadership injects energy. Do your chores, like sweeping. Your vacuum is broken, so get a new broom. Yes, never stop dreaming. Nice, guys. Finish last. I'm a nice person, but I don't think I'll finish last. I will just have an awesome time. They say, winning requires toughness, even ruthlessness, attributed to professional baseball manager Leo Durocher. What? I didn't read that in there, Dr. Meow. They just put on cumin. They think that will mask the smell. But then there's so many people tightly packed together that there's not enough airflow. Nice guys finish last. Winning requires toughness, even ruthlessness. Oh, I already said that. No man can serve two masters. That's what that woman was saying in Congress that day. David is big in Sweden. I'm glad to hear that. Really? Wow. I guess so. Eunuchs cannot go in. Wow. And you believe that it's... Did they say anything about women in heaven? I know, I did learn something new. So no women are in heaven at all? Well then, fine. You guys can all be in heaven. That's fine. What do the women do then? They have to be like reincarnated until they become men? Oh, yes. The Cicada 3301. Yes, stuff they don't want you to know. Yeah, you have to just solve the cicada. Are you trying to get me started on the cicada? Now I have to go look everywhere for that butterflies. Or I could go to like, pixels. Click. Properties. HTML. Interesting. Okay. I'll leave the cicada there. 7 cheese. That's hilarious. 5, 6, 7. Wow. So women don't have a soul, they just have a rib from Adam. I don't think it really talked about whether the earth was flat or round in the Bible. Not really. I haven't dated anyone besides David in nearly 2 decades. No man can serve 2 masters. One loyalties must be undivided. This is a saying of Jesus from the Gospels. Jesus goes on to say, you cannot serve God and mammon. That is God and money. No man is an island. The word Dave gets 88,600 results on Swedish Google. What about the word Sponheim? No one is self-sufficient. Everyone relies on others. This saying comes from a sermon by the 17th century English author John Donne. No news is good news. David will come in and be like, where did all my viewers go? They don't like listening to Proverbs. I'm sorry. We're almost done. David Sponheim gets 88,600 results on Swedish Google. Nice. Not hearing about a situation suggests that nothing bad has happened. I didn't hear about hurricane whatever. It's all good. Texas is fine. That's why sometimes it's better just to not listen to the news. Because no news is good news. Everybody's like, I don't listen to the news. Why is everybody packing up around me? I'm leaving. It's kind of windy. I think I'll go inside. All right. No one ever went broke underestimating the intelligence of the American people. Oh, that's sad. No one ever went broke underestimating the intelligence of the American people. Oh, it implies that the earth is a square with 4 corners. Okay. Yes, I'm interested in David's success. You posted something. People can easily be persuaded to accept the most inferior ideas or useless products, attributed to H.L. Mencken. Yeah, that is awesome numbers. 88,600 things in Sweden. Double my age would be 80 or 78. Dave is not 78. I know. Outed by the math. I mean, that was probably true when we first dated, though. No, I don't. 861, thank you. No rest for the weary. You're in Sweden. David's like a huge celebrity there. Thanks to you, Sulan. I have had a nice day, JJ whatever. Have you had a nice day? You must keep persevering no matter how tired or overworked you are. A variant is no rest for the wicked, which implies that the devil will not allow his followers to rest from their evil doings. Nothing succeeds like success. There's 3 Swedes in here. That's awesome. Fantastic. Success breeds more success. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. I do love David, even though that's not the case. I love him, but he wasn't my first love. If you don't risk anything, you won't gain anything. Speaking of which, I still did not buy a lottery ticket. Nothing will come of nothing. You'll gain nothing if you invest nothing. This saying is spoken by the title character in the play King Lear by William Shakespeare. King Lear is telling his daughter Cordelia that she will gain no favors from him if she does not make elaborate speeches saying she loves him. Oh, that's a good idea, 728. I haven't tried that yet. Oh, I prefer not to talk about it, 513. J.E. David will be back soon, don't worry. Oil and, oh, nothing will come, yes. Oil and water don't mix. Certain qualities or personalities are incompatible. I seem to be compatible with most people. A woman won the super lottery. Says that she's leaving the USA, never to come back. She's going to Russia. But she's not going to heaven, I guess, according to Deuteronomy, or at least me. I don't think that quote necessarily prohibits women from going to heaven. I think they have to have women in heaven. If you shake them enough, they'll look like a lava lamp, oil and water. I'm sure if you do them in a centrifuge, no, that separates them. They have to have a lot of women in heaven because, you know, the guys always want the women.
Wow. Those fish tacos are really good. They have the right amount of spice.
Oh, good.
Any more, it would have been too much, but it just has that bite. You know, you really want to get that spicy taco, fish taco. So am I interrupting?
No.
Okay.
They don't really like my proverbs.
Oh, so the Proverbs are not going well, huh? Because not enough guessing going on.
I know. Oh, they want you to know you have 88,600 people watching you in Sweden.
Oh, really?
Or no.
Oslo.
Swedish Google responses.
Google. Really? Nice. Cool. We were very, very
Google
popular.
in Sweden.
We're popular in Sweden. That's kind of cool.
And I played that video of the Hurricane Harvey.
Oh, really? Is it bad? It's coming in strong?
It's pretty big. Over Texas. And
big in Denmark too. Really? That's good. I've always respected the Danish people. We had a big conversation with a Finnish man at the Green Convention down in California about 7 years ago, and it was, the guy said everything in Finland is green energy producing. What is wrong with America? We are completely efficient.
there's a book that all the teachers are reading called Teach Like Finland.
Really?
Well, not all the teachers,
Teach
but
Like
I've heard
Finland.
it's a pretty popular book.
Okay, David, my wife's family is in the Philippines. You are on all AM cafes and TVs. Wow. That's exciting. See, I'm getting such great worldwide response that it makes me feel good. It really does. Thank you. It gives me a good feeling. Thank you, Sarah, for being here tonight. I appreciate it. So you can come back if you want. If not, let me just step out for a second. I'll be right there.
Okay.
I want to just freshen up.
Hello, Silent Man. I know, if only you could vote for David. It would be fantastic. Oh. The Interior Secretary recommends that Trump alter at least 3 national monuments, including Bears Ears. There's a presidential executive order on the review of designations under the Antiquities Act. Designations of national monuments under the Antiquities Act of 1906, recently codified at sections 320301 to 320303 of Title 54, have a substantial impact on the management of federal lands and the use and enjoyment of neighboring lands. All right. Monument designations that result from a lack of public outreach and proper coordination with state, tribal, and local officials and other relevant stakeholders may also create barriers to achieving energy independence, restrict public access to and use of federal lands, burden state, tribal, and local governments, and otherwise curtail economic growth. So he's having the Secretary of the Interior conduct a review of all presidential designations or expansions of designations made since January 1996, where the designation covers more than 100,000 acres, or where it covers, after expansion, it covers more than 100,000 acres.
Is this all to stop the destruction of monuments, or are they even working in that direction?
No, it's
Oh, wow.
basically, I haven't read it all, but I think it's to make it so things that are considered public lands, he wants to get rid of the public lands and make them so they
Privatized.
can privatize them.
But they want to sell our country off, in other words.
Yeah, that's what I think it is.
Okay, so they want to sell portions of the monuments that we have in the country so that Donald can profit. David for president in Sweden. Wow. Do you have to be a citizen to run for president in Sweden? Because I could I can't imagine being president in both places. I'm sure that's a requirement, but what if it wasn't? And plus, I don't speak Swedish. Ja, det gör jag. Vill du också ha kaffe? Bush and Obama expanded some national monument areas. Yeah, well, expanding is not selling, Mr. Haney.
That was in April that he did this, and now the Interior Secretary recommends that Trump alter at least 3 national monuments, including Bears Ears.
Alter them? Well, why are we spending time altering monuments when we need to be building jobs? I'm sorry, I'm missing the whole monument distraction. What part of Operation Distraction is that? The domestic ridiculousness distraction factor? It's got to come under some heading here. Operation Distraction is going on full force. Donald is trying to keep our mind away from the key issues affecting the country, and also the Russian connection. So Russia has become a big thing for Donald to ignore, and anytime he can distract us, he will. Okay. I don't think the liberals are causing this. This is all on Trump, Mr. Haney. He's the one who made deals with Russian oligarchs and violated the Logan Act. Hey, thanks for coming in. Appreciate
Exactly, Mr. Haney.
Yeah, see, Mr. Haney.
I can read that. Actually, that happened in April, and now, in fact,
yes,
the recommendation is to decrease the size of 3 different public lands.
Yeah. So now he's going to decrease the size of 3 separate public lands, meaning he wants to sell off portions of America. Add the one is here. Hello. I don't think my brother is named Denny, but thank you for saying that. And by the way, that's a bannable offense. I'll purge you, though. I think I'm not reading chat enough. I need to get more focused on chat. Have I touted on a plane? No. Malcolm Turnbull is very upset at Donald Trump. They had a war of words with Trump during the first month that he was president. Malcolm and Donald, and then there was another conflict between President Nieto and Donald for the whole month of January. That's all he did. David for president in Sweden. Yeah, det gör jag. Yeah, y'all get it. We get it all here. You're funny how you lurk from the other room. I don't lurk from the other room. I don't go into other rooms. I've never been in any other room. In fact, I don't surf the internet. That's pretty interesting, isn't it? Somebody said, hey, come on to my room and join my club. And I don't, because there are so many people pretending to be me on the internet. If I surf the internet, categorically, I am nowhere on the internet except here. Right here. David, my water heater is making sounds, but I'm too lazy to go hit it and make it stop. What should I do? If you need to hit it, that means it's really corroding inside, and it's just going to get worse and worse. Just put more insulation, soundproofing around the water heater, and make sure there's a spill detection at the bottom. If you protect yourself from the sound, it won't bother you. So cover the sound, don't fix the water heater. Once you open that water heater, and it's not broken yet, once you open it, bye-bye water heater. Hello, $1,200. Oftentimes, alkalines will do that. They'll connect, and the cow rods will be like until they finally break. Don't break my cow rod. Howdy, ma'am. You nearly broke my cow rod. Here's why Google went to Burning Man to find its next CEO. Okay, this is a story. Okay, let's suspend Operation Distraction for a second. There we go. Burning Man, isn't that the center for the police interrogation of anyone on marijuana? I heard that they were going to do interrogations for people and strip search them as they go into the Burning Man festivities. That may be wrong. I don't know. But I heard they were going to be really careful about anybody going there. Isn't Burning Man in Arizona and they haven't legalized recreational weed yet, but you can do it in Nevada? I think that's what's going on. Okay. It's no secret that Burning Man is a stomping ground for tech moguls. The annual counterculture gathering draws rich people and naked hippies under the shared assumption that the future is what you make it, dude. Yeah, they're having DUI checkpoints at all entrants. Can you believe that? I wouldn't go to... Why don't they start Nuclear Man here in Washington? I would love to have a concert up here at the Gorge and call it Nuclear Man in honor of the Hannaford Nuclear Repository we have up here. That'd be so cool, man. Burning Man looks so unfun. I mean, it's so nice here this time of year. It'd be so much better to have a Nuclear Man, you know? What wins has Trump had on energy? He's ignoring the environmental impact. That's an in. Mr. Haney, in case you didn't know, Trump doesn't give a rat's ass about the environment. He hasn't even cared enough to say that California has a drought. He denies that California has a drought, which is absurd. This guy in Stealing Fire says the author explains, his name is Stephen Kotler, how the founders of Google, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, used Burning Man as a stage for interviewing the next CEO. Wow, that's so special. Why is it corporatizing of every single cool event in the world is going on? You will be assimilated into the Borg. I remember when Renaissance Fair, I went to one of the first Renaissance fairs in California where they dress up in medieval times. And I was quite amazed at how like the dress, the elaborate, and the natural feeling of the fair. And now it's much more corporatized. I mean, it's like a machine that's going on. Welcome to Renaissance Fair. Go over there and get your artichoke. Okay. I've heard IKEA meatballs are really good. People do entire weddings with them, JJ. IKEA meatballs are world famous for their Swedish meatballs. Yeah, it's crazy. And the cost to go to Burning Man, I'd rather go to Waterman or something, or Nuclear Man, if those existed. Yeah, Carter Fan 98, he said he recollects that Trump said Mexico would be paying for the damn wall. Why shut the government down so he can get his pity way and spend money that doesn't necessarily want to be spent? Thank you, Carter Fan. Yeah, Carter Fan 98. A lot of you Trump supporters are beginning to realize what you're dealing with Trump. The ultimate flip-flopper. I mean, he'll lie on a moment's notice just to appease the person in front of him, especially if he's borrowing money from those people. He is a classic liquidator and a borrower. He borrows and liquidates. That's all he does. So he's trying to sell off portions of our government's property to fund who? Him and his cronies? I mean, this is insane. I mean, you voted for this guy. You must realize by now he's in it for his own pocketbook. Mr. Haney says Trump begged the Mexican president to not mention that they won't be paying for it. It looks bad. So that's what he talked to President Nieto about. Don't talk about how you're not paying for it because it looks bad. He cares more about it looking bad than putting our entire budget and the extension of the debt up for grabs, basically, unless he gets his way. His $1.6 billion that he wants for the wall, which won't even be 50 feet. It's absurd. This man is funding a disaster. It's funding a nightmare. And here we already have the best solution. I was the one who came up with a 1,000-mile fence. He stole that and called it a wall. And I must tell you, his next invention, I certainly hope he doesn't steal my idea of an invisible fence, but this is a really cool idea.
And heat up. But that's where the similarity ends. The ADS is...
Correction, it's a really hot idea. The active denial system literally burns your skin. And it's not designed to hurt anybody more than just skin burns, unless you keep going toward it. and then you'd get burned bad.
Resuscitate enemy combatants with an unnerving, non-lethal sensation of intense heat. Watch as the ray silently strikes and scatters the crowd.
The active denial system has three great characteristics. First of all, it's safe. Second, it's effective. And third, it has a tremendous range compared to the other non-lethal weapons that today's warfighter has.
This is the heart of this 100 kilowatt transmitter. This is the gyrotron. 200 kilowatts of electricity is fed in, and 100 kilowatts of radio frequency comes out. That millimeter wave energy comes out an aperture underneath the main reflector, hits the subreflector, which illuminates that main reflector, and sends a roughly antenna-sized beam downrange. Those whole...
Okay, so this is the antenna-sized ranged beam that we'd be dealing with. It would keep people from entering the country. Motion detectors would kick it on. It would run on solar panels that were hidden. It would also have the ability to prevent any serious casualties, unless, of course, you kept moving toward the heat, and no one's going to do that. One thing about pain is it tends to keep people away from moving forward, and this is a developmental tool that I would never use on a crowd, but I could definitely see its application as a fence. This will cost no more than $5 billion total, whereas Trump's fence idea, or excuse me, wall idea, my fence idea, would cost a lot more. All right. We have to create about 1,000 sentinels that deliver the beam to its target and have motion detectors put in place. So it'll cost $5 billion total for 1,000 miles. I don't hate Texans at all. I think you guys are in trouble. You got a major deluge coming. I went through Texas on my way to Houston a few years ago and ran into a massive flood in San Antonio. Luckily, it was the day before I arrived, but all the motels were completely shut down because there were no ground floors available. Tommy, you're diverting it to a very disturbing position in the show. You're the equivalent of a scrambling rat out in darkness right now. That's the only analogy I can explain. You're going to understand, stacking the courts with judges is what presidents do. The courts should not stop a good president. And if Trump stacks conservative judges, I don't really care. I'm not a super liberal when it comes to issues like capital punishment. I'm in favor of federal capital punishment laws. So I'm okay with the replacement that you're concerned about, Tommy. But really, it's really a distraction that's bigger than just stacking the government with conservatives. It's really about taking over our country and sucking us dry and giving the money to his power brokers like Kissinger and the World Bank. He's simply a puppet for the World Bank. They're using him as their tendril here to control our country. And out of the blue, we believe weather modification may be behind this zombie storm that's come back from, yeah, it's called a zombie storm, they're saying. Of biblical flood levels. So it's very possible that chemtrails have been behind it. My area has been completely inundated with chemtrails all over my area today. I couldn't believe how many chemtrails were flying. Redneck Casey Jones got in the YouTube show. Wow. If you're having delays, at our website at Vaughn, you can plug in that and pop out the Vaughn chat room and have that running in real time, because that YouTube is also HTML5 but runs cleanly without any errors. Mark's site is filled and riddled with errors, enough to cause a 20-second delay. Well, no, I saw the chemicals in the skies all over the place. There's lines drawn in the skies. I got to tell you, folks, I never saw lines in the skies, or I should say rarely ever saw lines in the skies when I was a kid, because I occasionally saw some contrails, the condensation coming out of planes. But I've been seeing so many now that linger in the sky and they spread out. These are chemtrails. There's no doubt about it. And It's possible that Hurricane Harvey actually was caused by a government chemtrail spraying pattern in a circular pattern. That they're able to boost the air and move it in a massive turnstile fashion, creating a cyclone or a hurricane or a typhoon. And this technology has been available since the 1800s when Tesla developed it. So what our country's doing without our knowledge is very, very sinister. If they're planning a major hit on Texas to trigger some sort of a down cycle in the economy there, it's only to weaken our country. And these people who are doing this are probably not even U.S. citizens. They're probably global giants who live, they're called sovereign individuals that live on their own money anywhere they want. Okay, multiple $1 million bets on Floyd Mayweather was among a flurry of big money that showed up in Vegas on Thursday, shaking up the odds for the undefeated boxing champion showdown with Conor McGregor. The MGM Sportsbook took $1 million bet on Mayweather at 550 odds from a VIP casino guest, minus 550 odds of winning. So somebody really believes McGregor is going to turn up a win, and he wins huge amounts, the odds against him so much. And he wired the money to the casino cage ahead of the wager. Huh. And the bet would net just under $182,000 if Mayweather prevails. Okay. A lot of people are paying cash big toward the end and betting on McGregor. The price is skyrocketing right now. The two $1 million bets, the largest reported wagers of the fight to this point, were part of a surge of action on Mayweather around town Thursday. Okay, so they're going for Mayweather? Whatever, I really don't care. The weather sucks in Texas. Of course, we would allow transgender black people, or anybody who wants to be in the military would be allowed the military of age. Oh, you bet 5,000 on the Aston Villa to beat the opponent by 3 goals. And you made 25,000. Oh, you're profiting from your online betting? Wow. Scissor fight. 3,700-year-old Babylonian tablet rewrites the history of math and shows the Greeks did not develop trigonometry. Well, Sarah would like to know this. Yeah, I'd love to get the FCC to investigate Mark's censorship, but our country doesn't seem to have an FCC that's reactive to internet sites yet. Unless they develop an internet liaison, because technically the internet here in America is a utility, unless they have a liaison, we're not going to see any major change here. I believe that the censorship is going on a daily basis and is violating the Logan Act, because I think he's being funded by some outside sources from our country. That's my concern. And if he does violate the Logan Act, since nobody's been prosecuted violating the Logan Act, it's kind of a moot point, but he has to be prosecuted on something if he is going to be charged with a crime like the RICO Act. The RICO Act has to have a criminal charge attached to it, but I know he's collaborating with others to censor me. I just don't know exactly, no, seriously, I don't know exactly who he's talking to and getting money from. So it would involve it's very complicated to get a subpoena to check Mark's business records to verify he's receiving money to censor me. But by all accounts and all intents and purposes, it does seem like our censorship has resulted in his massive growth in income. He can't really substantiate the money he's made from people on his site. He claims he has millions or whatever, hundreds of thousands of VIP basic accounts. Now, how many of you are paying $9.95 a month to watch the show? Press 1 if you are. And guess you're not allowed to vote because you're not paying anything. Press 1 if you're paying $9.95 a month. Guests are not allowed. You're not allowed to vote. No, you're not paying anything. Mark is paid to keep you quiet. Trump stole your ideas. People stole. Yeah, that's happens. 366. That's not cool. And in a country where the utility of the internet, the other law that could be abridged here is the fairness doctrine. But no one has been prosecuted for violating the fairness doctrine in years, which means that Mark has to serve the public interest equally. And if he doesn't, and he's specially targeting me and limiting my free speech, that's a serious crime. I don't believe 9 ads are getting him the money that he claims he's making. No, those are nominal payoffs. No different than AdSense or AdWord dollars. It's nothing. Nobody's out to get me. I'm just being censored because my message is very real and vibrant and people love it. The fact that I'm going to take on the two parties challenging the corruption that is connected to the World Bank and all the money that comes into our country, controlling our process. The fact that I really am trying to take America back. Trump was just a puppet using my ideas to propel himself to power. These are things that are starting to really show themselves to the world audience. They see this. And they also see that this is BS, what's going on in the air. Okay, so the invisible fence is my idea. If Trump tries to take that, you know full well that's going to be, you know, probably the straw that broke the camel's back. But let's face it, we've got immigration problems that I had solutions to, and Trump went ahead and targeted Muslims. You might as well target aliens, you know. It's meaningless to target a group of people because of their religious belief. And that's what really is sad. Trump doesn't even understand the core of our Constitution. I doubt he's even read the Constitution. So what are Twitch's shocking flaws, Politics for Dummies, in your opinion? You said Twitch has some shocking flaws. What are they? Because I noticed that there's a timer on there. If you don't talk in there, your chat disappears. Is that still going on? I don't think they're going to call me. Frankly, I'm done with those guys. It doesn't matter. We got a call from Duncan earlier, a new caller. Mark got to level 2 of level 9,009. Yeah, thank you. I think you're making that up. So, I don't really believe in aliens, so there's nothing really to worry about. This is obviously an animation. But there is a theory that that's being espoused that the alien invasion is coming and all this crap. But what we're really possibly dealing with is CGI. And CGI obviously is easily manipulatable. And there's a program, Project Bluebeam, in which the government is planning on a major reveal of aliens. Serious, I don't think we're alone in the universe. No, I think that there's other living creatures in the universe, but they don't look like this. They look like little amoebas. It's not like a developed life form. I just don't believe that aliens are visiting us, and the reason I'm predicating my belief on that, the simple fact is nobody with a camera out of 5.4 billion cameras that are currently walking around the face of this beautiful earth has taken a picture, a credible picture of an alien. Oh, that's because they're really fast. Oh, and they travel in another dimension, and whenever someone gets a camera near them, they disappear. Huh. And that's called a self-sealing premise. And it doesn't apply here. If they want to believe that aliens are so fast they can't be seen, then, oh, okay. Interesting. We've got some problems in the chain of command here. So I really believe Project Bluebeam was most likely the offshoot of this possibility that, you know, they're going to somehow plan an alien visitation, generate it through CGI, and make us all believe it. Kind of like various other tricks of camera work that they're able to pull off with the technology at their disposal.
Can you take the phone?
Sure. Okay, this 37-year-old Babylon tablet rewrites the history of math and shows the Greeks did not develop trigonometry.
Oh, can you say that for me?
I'll save it for you. And there it proves, beyond a reasonable doubt. It's known as the Plimpton 332, named after the Plimp plane. I'm making a joke. It was discovered in the early 1900s in southern Iraq by the American archaeologist Edgar Banks. The true meaning of the tablet has eluded experts until now. A new research by the University of New South Wales, Australia, has shown it's the world's oldest and most accurate trigonometric table, which probably used by ancient architects to construct tables or temples, palaces, and canals. Well, that's special. Okay. And then this story over here. Deadline NBC News. Military members on Pence detail reassigned for bringing women to hotel. The U.S. military detail assigned to Vice President Mike Pence's communications team has been removed from White House duties after being caught on video bringing women back to their hotel in Latin America. This happens all too often. The Secret Service have secret parties at strip clubs. This type of immorality is not to be expected from somebody who is so close to the vice president. The reason why this is a problem is they can be manipulated by Latin prostitutes. Oh, so what do you talk about at the work? Tell me more about Mr. Pence. Oh, you want me to perform that? Oh, no, I'm not going to do that unless you tell me more. You know, this kind of thing. See? You like Latin prostitutes? Okay. Well, I'm a little concerned that our top brass is being manipulated by sex. Now, if they can't put a lid on their dick, we got a problem. Did I actually say that? I go all over the place. You wouldn't believe it. I traveled to this big, huge store in town. It's called Walmart. And people see me there with my dark sunglasses on and my hat, and they can hardly even tell who I am. Who won the Powerball, by the way? Do you have any idea who won? I haven't checked that out yet. I am. You know, the old guy in the paint department recognized me. He knows that I'm running for president. He figured me out. A man films lightning that strikes 5 meters away, destroying his backyard. This is good. Oh man! Holy moly! Whoa! Oh my goodness! He's lucky he didn't get hit. Yeah. Oh! Wow! That's scary. We're watching it again and again. Now in slow motion. Yeah, wubba boom, right there. Good place to put a jacuzzi. Or a spa or something. Check out the damage. Yeah, that's bad news, man. He's lucky. Oh, look at that. 53-year-old Massachusetts hospital worker claims the 700... Was that a second hit or the first one? Okay, so it was a 53-year-old Massachusetts hospital worker who is now $758.7 million richer. Wow, look at this guy. Ma'am, woman, tranny, lady, Mavis Wansik, a woman. Yes. Are we allowed to say she's a woman? Is that politically correct? Okay. Good. Yeah, she's a woman. I think. Mavis, I don't know. She's there. Let's close in on her. She is a female hominoid. She learned how to trick the system and renegotiate. I don't know here. Mavis, you are one rich gal. Person. That was not me farting. Don't worry. It's the chair. What do you mean that's not her? It clearly looks like her. I think Mavis is doing great. Congratulations, Mavis. And good luck spending it. By the time you get, if you take the lump sum with a half pay down, you'll get half of that. So that's 758 minus 1/2. That's 368 million minus the chunk that's 25% for the U.S. government. So out of the 78 million out of 36 leaving. Out of the 758.7 million, she will receive $278 million. Congratulations. And if she takes out any additional loans against her house, that'll be amortized over a 7-year period at default rates, meaning she is now broke and has no money whatsoever. In fact, when she gets done with her amortization and her losses, she will actually owe the IRS more money than she ever won. Almost. Congratulations, Mavis. You're the big winner.
Can I do a Johnny Carson? I'm not Johnny Carson, but Ed, or Doc Severinsen could be a Johnny Carson.
Really good IRS math, yeah. I'm not jealous at all. I consider Mavis a beautiful woman, and gosh, maybe she's looking for a date. Okay, all-time Powerball jackpot lottery winners. There's a story about these people who buy too many things when you win, and you end up going broke. 70% go broke. I know. Here's how winning the lottery makes you miserable. I already feel bad for all these people. It was so hurtful to win the lotto. That's not true. Mavis looks nothing like Sarah. It's a story of a guy named Trump who's incredibly greedy to the hilt. His family is super greedy and they run America. It's a story of a brainless population that continues to believe the liars in front of them. Okay, let's take a look at another story here. While that queues up, it's taking forever. Okay, here she is, Powerball jackpot winner, Mavis. Show us some love, Mavis. Show us the money. Hey there, DT Laura. Hello. Oh God, I gotta wade through all these ads and commercials and this is not working out. You want to take me to Chicago? Well, that's where the winner, oh, Massachusetts. Okay.
Unless you've been living under a rock, you're probably aware that the Powerball jackpot has ballooned to a whopping $1.5 billion, the largest lottery prize in world history. And if you haven't gone out and snagged a ticket or two, maybe you should. An estimate made before the jackpot hit 800 million said it would need to be at least 1.7 billion for the cost of a ticket to be worth it. So we're getting close. So let's say you do end up hitting all 6 of those lucky numbers. After you stopped screaming, here are some smart steps you should take to ensure you make the most of all that money. First, figure out what your money goals are. A wealth management advisor at Northwestern Mutual suggests carefully consider.
Oh, come on. You're plugging your own investment firm? I mean, that is the lowest thing anybody can do. That's a very old link. Y'all send me old links, man. You got to get me cutting edge, state-of-the-art links. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that's good to know. I'm glad Mavis succeeded at something. Being a hospital worker, she was probably in the billing department, and she's the lady that takes your house Oh, Mavis, she's lucky again. She's probably the lady that calls up and says, I'm sorry, but your house is now owned by the hospital. You'll have to vacate your premises because your cancer costs too much to repair. You stayed in the hospital for 2 weeks, so now you're going to have to end up leaving and staying in a motel somewhere. Hi. I got to get a picture of this lady. Here we go. I want to confirm this is Mavis. No. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry, but I don't want to cater to this nonsense, worshiping of money. It is written in the Bible, Timothy 6:10, that the love of money is at the root of all evil. You may want to reflect on that when referring to the lottery. This is not a religious show, though. We're not hating on anybody. I just don't like the way hospitals steal money from you when you get sick. Okay, I'm glad we cleared that up. Howdy, Jackson. Chester's been here 2 hours ago. Nobody's been using our C-Box on our main channel. I guess you don't have a problem getting into the chat because we got a new C-Box here. If you want to type in and say, hello, everyone, you can. It happens to be at americasthirdparty.com on the bottom right, underneath, or right next to the Vaughn chat room. Hello, people. Here's Mavis. Thank you. We're going to get a good picture of Mavis right now. She's very, very rich in her mind. Oh, so there she is. Okay. She does kind of look like Sarah. You're right. I must have had the wrong woman standing next to her. I think I dealt with Mavis in billing one year when I was trying to collect on the doctor bill. Oh, come on. I gotta grab it. Thank you. Whew. Oh, please don't use the N-word here. I'm very against racism. Thank you. I would never sell your info to his overlords. I don't have any overlords. I want total protection of your private records. I think the mobile medical units should just strictly give you a care and not take personal information down. I think your teeth are maybe natural, maybe not. I don't really care. Sarah is way more pretty, but I'm glad for Mavis, and if she's got debts to pay because she's, you know, been working as a medical employee all these years, this is a really wonderful thing for her. This will get her out of her debt, assuming she doesn't take on more debt. Because the problem with money is if you acquire it and you want to spend, pretty soon people around you know that you have the money and they charge you more for everything. Like a motorhome that would normally be $150,000 suddenly becomes $250,000. I don't know. Definitely see a resemblance. Looks like a family relative of some sort. Drug 100 times stronger than heroin arrives in Britain and causes 6 deaths. Whoa. Do not take needles from people handing you needles like this in crack houses. Yeah, don't stick some foreign needle with this horrible drug in it. Yeah, it's arrived in England and it's killed 6 people already. No kidding. This is an interesting story. The Powerball winner's husband was recently killed in a freak accident. That is freaky. Freak out. That's really sad. So it's a good thing that she got it. Mavis, congratulations on your wonderful win. We're all jealous as hell. Every one of us is just jealous to no end of your incredible luck. I don't really care. I don't really like money that much. It's bothersome. You're jealous of my hair? Well, money gets in the way of meeting people. You know, I met a few people that were really, really rich, And because they know that I'm not really, really rich, I'm incredibly wealthy, they knew that I couldn't in any way stoop to their level. So it's funny how the rich, somewhat segregated, like Donald Trump, he seems so jealous of Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos. Donald Trump, who barely has $2.4 billion in debt and hardly any equity to speak of other than liabilities, with no castles in Bavaria or French villas off the coast of the south of France, or Monte Carlo, where I sometimes summer. Donald Trump has to slave away in his slum-like hotels, which are leveraged to the hilt by the Deutsche Bank. Google, Facebook, and Twitter now routinely violated the First Amendment to silence all non-conforming voices. Thank you. Natural News can speak up for them. You know, a lot of people have lost their YouTube accounts, and it's because of the recent rash of censorship by Google. It's insane is what it is. Google, Facebook, and Twitter now routinely violating the First Amendment to silence all non-conforming voices. I must tell you that people who are generally not as intelligent as me often claim they're smarter than me. It's a common case of jealousy. But that's okay. He couldn't handle an interactive show like this if he tried. I know what keeps you up at night, David. And I'm not talking about your leaky faucet. Just Raven. Are you hitting on me? We don't accept that here. I'm not the kind of guy you want to hit on. I wouldn't doubt he is a flat earther. Bag End Audio says when he won the Powerball back in '98, he didn't give his identity away either, and he kept this up for 20 years and still hasn't revealed that I won. And that's why you never made a donation to our party once. Bag End Audio is trying to prevent me from thinking he won millions of dollars back in 1998. And you won the Powerball too? And you prevented Artie? Oh no. Artie's here. He's a VIP. He must pay Mark for this account. Did you get the account because of your special needs, Artie? I heard Mark was giving accounts away, so it looks like people are buying them. You know, I'm not gay, so whatever your problem is, take it elsewhere to your boyfriends. Over 9 million winners on Powerball on Wednesday. So a lot of people came in with not quite the numbers, but close. Wow, 9 million winners. So people get money at a lesser level. What does 4 numbers get you, or 5 numbers? Okay, this story is interesting for Natural News as well. The FBI, did the FBI just try to recruit a mentally ill person to carry out a right-wing terrorist plot? Well, if organic broccoli sprout powder is what you need, then you probably want to know more. What is this? They're selling me organic broccoli sprout powder. Sorry. Yeah, when the FBI announces that they have foiled a terrorist plot, many of us have a huge sigh of relief and feel thankful that they're not working so hard to keep all of us safe. That they are working hard to keep all of us safe. However, some people are concerned that entrapment plays a role in some of these arrests, and a recent case involving a mentally ill man is raising a lot of questions. Jerry Drake Varnell is a 23-year-old schizophrenic who was accused of plotting to bomb a bank. FBI documents show that he subscribed to a type of right-wing ideology known as the 3%er, which is devoted to exposing injustice and corruption, according to journalist Matt Agorist. Federal documents show that the young man drove what he thought was a stolen van that was carrying a 1,000-pound bomb of ammonium nitrate to blow up a bank in Oklahoma City. While no sane person would ever condone bombing a bank for any reason or defend someone for doing so, Varnell's parents have called out the FBI for continuing to groom him, despite knowing he was a paranoid schizophrenic. According to his family, he had been declared unfit mentally to live on his own, and they feel that the FBI's mind game tactics led him to commit an act that he otherwise would not have. They say that their son did not have a job, He didn't have a driver's license. You have the phone there.
Hello. Jason.
Okay. Yes, Jason, go ahead. Thank you, Sarah.
Hey, well, how's it going, man?
It's going great. What's going on, man?
So I just wanted to mention that in Kansas, there was actually the exact same thing happened. The FBI,
Yeah.
they had groomed a guy to go onto a military base with a van that was filled with explosives.
Wow.
And it was all completely set up by the FBI. So
I
they've
don't
been doing this for a while now.
You've known it for a while, and I don't disbelieve you. I really think you're onto something there. You know, Jared Lee Loughner was missing from his family for a couple of weeks. They say he went and stayed in a hotel with some guy prior to attacking Kathleen Gifford. So it's possible they're grooming MK Ultra assassins. It's very possible. Thanks.
If you Google Fort Riley bomb plot, then you'll see it.
Okay, good. I'll check it out. Will do. Thanks, Jason.
All right.
Appreciate the heads up. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, Fort Riley bomb plot. Let's take a look. Does not surprise me. It really, because this has been going on. This is actually Operation MK Ultra, and it started with Operation Mockingbird, and it advanced into a plan to turn people into anything, terrorists, homegrown terrorists. Very, very strange. It could very well be happening. Okay, here's the story. Topeka native John Booker Jr. gets 30 years for a Fort Riley bomb plot. Same story, similar MO. John Booker Jr., a Topeka man convicted of a plot to detonate an explosive device at Fort Riley, was sentenced Monday to a life term of 30 years in a federal prison. He pled guilty on February 3rd to attempting to use a weapon of mass destruction and attempting to destroy government property by fire or explosion. In exchange for the guilty pleas, a third charge of providing material support to the Islamic State was dismissed. The facts of the case show Booker has a great disregard for life and injury to many people, the judge said. He was not fined, but he's going to get 30 years. He had a rambling statement where he said that he wasn't given help to deal with his mental health issues. Same kind of thing. If he had received money to help him deal with his problems, Booker wouldn't be in court facing 2 sentences, Booker told the judge. Huh. Again, agents monitored Booker to see whether he had changed. They had met with the Booker's family, who said they had done everything they could to help him. Again, the FBI's fingerprint is all over this as well. Wow. You know, from an investigative perspective, this reeks. It really does. It shows us that maybe James Comey and the new FBI director are sitting on, or were sitting on, mountains of corruption that are not being dealt with. Okay, there's no wig here. This is my real hair. Thank you for admiring it. I don't know. It seems like there could be an involvement with our own government creating these assassins, triggering riotous activities. You know, I go back to the situation in Charlottesville in which a driver who was seen in the picture was driving the vehicle. He does not resemble the actual person who's been apprehended. It's the same kind of thing all over again. It's almost like he's a professional hitman. Well, universal health care is not really anything. If you look at the single payer plan, it's just charging people who work to pay for people who don't work. and business as well. So what I'm preferring is a public option, which would be a simple, not mandatory plan to give people full service. And I'm going to try to build it into my concept of a basic income. So if you want to get $400 a month, you sign up to that and then check the box for the healthcare plan, and it is reduced by 60. That's the concept. So we can offset our costs and use that money we're saving from giving you $400 a month to going toward your health care. No, I don't use a wig, and I have nice shoulders. Thank you. There is a wig over here that when I really have a bad hair day, I do put it on. It's right over to my left. Yeah, they give them Catcher in the Rye to read, or that, in the case of Jerry Lee Lofner, that book on grammar, and they re-engineer their brain. And with about 15 hours of steady methamphetamines into their body, they're pretty much reciting Catcher in the Rye over and over again, and claiming in their own brain, saying they're going to do something, and that they have to do that. Now, one of the interesting things about crystal meth is, oh, that's right, any hospital must serve you. That's correct, 8855. Even if you don't have a public option, you are correct. Well, John, if you're getting health care for $40 a month, you're probably somebody's getting screwed along the way. You must be in some ridiculously large group health care plan run by government employees. It's $80 a month? Okay, well, you're going to be saving quite a bit at $60 a month. Good for you. Well, so you'll save 20 bucks, John. Put it into vitamins. Then you won't even have to go to the doctor. Here we go. All right. I didn't think you had it in you, man, but Power J came up with a good one. So doesn't this little guy look like an operative? Like a hardened military operative? I swear, you look at his face and you just think, man, this guy is seriously like major. I mean, if only we had more photographs of him, it would be more like, yeah, go ahead and make my day, punk. Well, this man killed Heather Heyer. He looks like a killer, I know. He killed Heather Heyer. I didn't say, Just a Raven. I don't talk about my penis here. Thank you for offering the question, though. That's nice to know. Yeah, idiots pay $2,000 a month for family insurance. Can't make that up. Well, they'd still pay that. We'd still allow the private healthcare system to continue. We're offering basic care. It's not going to be cosmetic surgery for your rectum. I mean, you're not going to get a Brazilian butt lift on our dime. You won't get a sex change operation covered under your healthcare plan. Yeah, I know a lot of you are looking for that because based on the numbers, apparently it's very popular now. Okay, here's a very interesting theory that Power J just submitted. The possibility that this woman's a crisis actor, that they're not going to give her any money at all. She's just being paid to pretend to be the winner. Well, there are people seeking cosmetic surgery of their anus. I know that's very hard to believe, but doctors make money doing that. I've been told that they do what is called anal bleaching. I know nothing about this. Ask your doctor. Get your doctor on the phone. Doctor, is it true that you do anal bleaching? Yeah, so just bear in mind there are people that want that covered under their policy. I'm not kidding, man. You won't get the deluxe service for $60 a month, no. But it'll be covered under your $400 a month plan if you're a U.S. citizen. So I'm trying to create a backbone of health insurance combined with a minimal amount of money for people to survive. Now, if you don't care about your health care and you just want that extra 60 bucks, then you'll end up getting served at a mobile medical unit and probably expect more from your service. It's not going to be bad, but it won't be great either. You're not going to worry about the taxes, John. The money in the government is all borrowed anyway. The money that you're paying into your taxes, John, is actually going to service the interest on the debt that we keep enlarging. So your taxes are not going to anything Donald Trump is doing right now. We're borrowing money to allow Donald Trump to have extreme security and excess Secret Service costs. I think you're onto something, man. We have a woman that fits the bill. No kidding. Wow. Folks, I think we've got something here. This could very well be a fake Powerball winner. Now, hypothetically, just imagine the possibility that they don't want to pay this money out. They brought all this money in, right? So they hire a crisis actress to pretend like she won the award, the big Powerball. They give her the magic number in advance and say, here's the magic number, and they make the magic number appear because there's no oversight over the Powerball system. There's no National Gaming Commission going in and checking their numbers and verifying their data. So they don't want to pay this money out. They want to keep it. So their goal is to pretend that somebody wins, right? Power J, you're onto something. Great lead on this. Thank you. Okay. Trump just busted the most dangerous secret agent yet in White House. Here's what he walked in on. Okay, is this a real story or a boardroom? Oh, no, I don't. No, I'm sorry. I don't play into this BS. Sorry, MJS. I won't. No. Trump won't even charge Hillary with a crime. He won't even charge Barack Obama with any crimes regarding Fast and Furious. Remember that? Eric Holder's payback, 65,000 guns given to drug cartels. And then Barack Obama swept it under the carpet. That's a prosecutable offense, what Obama did. Trump won't even do that. Well, I'm sorry Hillary's drinking herself to death, but when you have the cult of Satan, calling you up on the phone, asking if you're going to be involved in the next meeting at Orgy Island, that's got to make anybody want a Bloody Mary. I mean, even I would probably, consider drinking a Bloody Mary if somebody called me up saying, "We expect you at the Bohemian Grove, where we will be drinking blood." That'd kind of bum me out. Poor Hillary. And the Hillary body count, yeah. How is she handling it? Just the concept of having to deal with the depression, of the guilt of having the Clinton body count to deal with, I don't have skin cancer, but thank you for offering your concern. That's very sweet of you. So if you're wondering what this is, it's my popper stopper. The original popper stopper that I used as a voiceover artist. And I talked into it so many times I have a hole in it. Isn't that amazing? I'm not going to replace it though. And we are getting the mic that Mad Dog gave us. No, I don't, Just Raven. You're fantasizing again. Anyway, the mic that Mad Dog sent us will be enough to award him. He sent a mic and a mixer board. It will be enough to award him our number 4 copy, which has been on the docket for a while. It has no page numbers, but it's very collectible. Our number 4 copy of Hybrid Capitalism, our book, which talks about our green ideas, our ideas to help the country, that Donald Trump stole. This is not a wig, man. This is my real hair. I mean, why do you think it looks horrible? Would you like me to try another wig? This is the same wig I tried the other day. This is my real hair. Here, every time they come in here and attack me on my wig, I just have to bring out my other wig. I have a brown wig and a long blonde wig, and then this wig, and then I have my real hair. And this is not a toupee. You ready? I kind of look like a Quaker. Let's see if we can get a different position here. Something a little bit more cool. There we go. It's David Bieber. Yeah, man, what's going on? I look like Bradley Manning? Who's Bradley Manning? You mean Chelsea Manning? Oh, yeah. Sarah doesn't let me wear wigs in bed now. I'm not into dress up or what do they call it? Role playing. I don't look like a quack. You look like a quack, Carpet Muncher. Have you seen your biopic? Check this out. That's what Carpet Muncher looks like. First of all, it's not wise to put your real face on your biopic, okay? We already know who you are. We run it against facial recognition at NASA, at NSA, and you definitely are the same person with that same picture. Yeah. We found out who you are, man. Exposed. You're going to be 30 on the 31st? Add the 1. Congratulations. Well. 7 more days and you're going to be 30 years old. The big 3-0. Well, good for you, man. Bravo. Have yourself a wonderful dinner and maybe do something fun. Go to a public national park or something before Trump sells them. Yeah, go visit a national park before Trump sells them. Isn't today the National Park Day, actually? Isn't there a National Park Day where you get in it for free? Let me see. I am checking. Apparently there is a National Park Day. Plan your visit. It turned 100 years in 2016. During 10 days of the year, national park sites that charge an entrance fee will offer free admission to everyone. January 2017. Oh, February. August 25th. That's tomorrow, everybody. And September 30th. And November 11th. So these 3 days, or chunks of days, you can go to the national parks for free. Yay! So tomorrow, you get a free trip to your national park if you live near, say you're in Bahaba. And you want to go to the national park, then Acadia National Park. You can park your car and get a lobster and go to Acadia for free. You're the winner. Would you like another one? You know I sound like the lobster guy, right? I know. People accuse me of being the guy on the Lobster Mania casino machine. Sure do. That would be a lucrative contract. Maybe you'd like some more chowder. Well, no, we don't own national parks anymore, John. Trump's trying to sell them. He's going to try to sell them and make money on them. Yeah, they won't be owned pretty soon. They'll be owned by China. Your parents are Swedish, Dave. No, my father was a Norwegian. And his family came over from Norway in the 1860s. But prior to that, they lived in Ulvig, outside of Ulvig in Norway. Okay? But my family moved away from Germany, where they originally built a castle. The castle Sponheim. That would be a good day to visit on National Parks Day. Yeah, now the national parks belong to the United Nations because we leveraged all of our national parks against our debt. I think Nixon did that when he decided to pull us off the Bretton Woods contract. We're making gold our backing to the US dollar. Yeah, I think during the Bretton Woods occurrence, everyone wondered why Richard Nixon, of all people, created the Environmental Protection Agency. Thank you. Turns out the EPA was just a front for controlling large amounts of land. Whenever they need more land to sell or to negotiate and trade, lease out, they just like dump toxic waste down the rivers like they did in Colorado recently. The EPA actually went in and ordered toxic waste down the river just to destroy countless acres of land so that they could open it up to more strip mining. I am not kidding. It really did happen. So, luckily for me, the guys in my area really did a really good job with the chemtrails, and they spelled it out for me, so I don't even have to tell you about them. It's nice to know that they're actually very good at skywriting too. When they drop lithium in my sky above me, they make nice, even words that say chemtrails, so I don't have to worry about what's being dumped in the skies above me. But what this is actually now public knowledge. It's a stratospheric atmospheric injection. Yeah, and they're doing this on as a daily thing now. In my area, we were hit super hard today. I woke up and I saw nothing but chemicals across the skies, lines in the sky above my house. That's just what's going on. Nice tie. Thanks, Cat's Tail. My sister gave me this from Australia. Made by the company Scorched Earth for all of you people in Melbourne right now and Sydney. We've got a large viewership in Australia. It's cool that people are all tuning into this too, and it's not just because the show is interesting and a cutting edge that I'm running for president of the United States. It's because I'm the only one talking about this stuff. Yeah, for whatever reason, some of you are acting more and more gay every day, and it's probably what they're spraying in the air for all we know. Yeah, I have no idea what the heck's going on scientifically, because they don't want to publish all the specific data. But women are getting stronger, you know. More women are working now than ever before. There's Sarah showing off her muscles. And more men are becoming more effeminate and, you know, behaving like trannies. So. Not really sure why, but hey. Could also be GMOs. The GMO soy products could be triggering esters in the men, lowering their testosterone by 50%. Hard to say. But women are getting stronger and stronger. Look at how big her muscle is. She's just powering her way through. She's actually got much stronger arms today than before. I work out too, of course. And I'm not turning gay, and I'm not gay. $1 million stoners in his cast, really? Okay. Yeah, you know, I think technically more women are going to be working in our world toward the transition to automation. And then you'll see more robots working. So right now, women are taking the place of robots. You didn't know that? We're kind of in a scientific revolution of sorts that could very well be earth-shaking to a lot of you, because many of you want to keep your jobs, you want your money to come in. But if you're making $20,000 or less, 85% of the employees in America 10 years from now will be out of a job. If you're making $40,000 or less, 31% will be out of a job. So there's a lot of reasons to be concerned. And one thing about the Republicans and Democrats, they aren't coming up with any new ideas to generate jobs. They don't have a program like the Homestead Renewal Plan. They are not putting together a plan to improve our bridges like I would. $25 billion could go to the bridges right now. Trump's a day late and a dollar short. He'd rather give the money to China. China. So we're in a world of potential technologies, and I've got a few of them here for all of us to look at. And I've got a song to play to go with it. I wonder what that is. Oh, it's my mic stand or something. Looks like a mic stand. Huh. Oh, aren't those cute? Yeah, that's part of the deal. All right, well, let's get ready. While I'm concerned about healthcare offering a public option of $60, it's not required, but if you want to get full healthcare and dental, it's covered. I'm very concerned that our government is producing some sort of a dangerous genetic mutation to certain viruses. And if you're wondering why our country is suffering from more and more illness, it's possibly because they're literally targeting our immune system. This is bizarre, but people as concerned as Madison Star Moon are speaking out. Look up, wake up, and do something.
Hey guys, this is Madison Star Moon. Oh no. If we look at what they have done to our sky here in Virginia Beach.
Look what they've done to the sky. Ankle plants video. It's perfect for a show. Okay, ankle pants. I just have never checked those out. This is Madison Star Moon. She's going to be doing this video for us in the after show coming up at the top of the hour. She's really, really good. She gets in their face. She talks about chemicals being dumped on us every day. She's doing the hard fight. She's in the trenches. And I'm very concerned. So let me check this out. So you want me to look at ankle pants video. Okay. Let's check it out. I don't know what you're talking about. Ankle pants. Hey, you know, if she's high, she's probably high in chemtrails. No, you're such an idiot. You were sitting there getting dumped on by chemicals and cat's tail going, the sky is falling again. Ankle pants, huh? All right, let's check it out. Okay. Berlin Live. Ankle pants, everybody. I can see these guys in Germany have really had Angela Merkel as their leader too long.
I am Richard's Fatse.
Ankle pants. Now, what exactly is going on with his nose? It appears to be a flailing phallic symbol. Does anybody know they're influenced by Kraftwerk? Well, thanks for telling me about them. I have no idea. I am not a mongrel. It really sucked. Now let me play you what they're developing at the Pentagon. About 10 years ago, this is something I played the other day, and I want to mention it on Technology Thursday. Yes. Let's play it for you. They're modifying viruses and genes in viruses that affect the brain. Now, if you had a chance to test laboratory animals for 50 years, you'd probably find out that if you inject them with a certain virus, they start acting different than the other rats in the cage. Well, we're no different. And 10 years ago, this is a Pentagon briefing that was released and leaked to the public. But 10 years ago, they were talking about the VMAT2 gene, which very well could be used today to neutralize our population and make us more obedient. No, check this out. This is for real.
Annex, and this is the expression, RT-PCR, real-time PCR expression of the VMAT2 gene. Over here, we have individuals. So let me complete. So over here, we have individuals who are not particularly fundamentalist, not particularly religious, and you can see there's a much reduced expression of this particular gene, the VMAT2 gene. Another evidence that supports our hypothesis for the development of this approach.
What you're suggesting here is by spreading this virus, we're going to eliminate individuals from donning on a bomb vest and going into a market and blowing up the market.
So our hypothesis is that these are fanatical people, that they have overexpression of the VMAT2 gene, and that by vaccinating them against this, we'll eliminate this behavior. So we have some very, very remarkable data in this next slide. Here we have two brain scans. These are fMRIs. These are two different individuals with different levels of expression of VMAT2. On top is the individual who's a religious fanatic, and individual, and we've repeated this numerous times, that has high levels of VMAT2. Now, this individual down here who had low levels of the VMAT2 gene, this individual would self-describe as not particularly religious. In each case, these individuals were read a religious text. This individual lit up the right middle frontal gyrus, shown here, and that's a part of the brain that's associated with theory of mind.
Oh, okay. Theory of mind. Right. Now, if you're Donald Trump, you're going to have a hard time actually reading this sentence here. So, You don't have to read the sentence. It's just gibberish to you. It's just a lot of stuff. Melania, what is all this stuff on the screen that David has rolling in front of it? Did you hear that Donald Trump believes that kids could get health care insurance for $12 a month? Somebody actually researched the idea of health care insurance for $12 a month. And it was about toddlers getting a life insurance plan. If you have a child, you want to get a life insurance plan, it's $12 a month. He confused life insurance with health care insurance. I'm not kidding. Why am I the only person having fun here? Okay, well, there's got to be a reason for that. Maybe the VMAT2 gene is already penetrating your brains and you're going, oh, I don't understand what David is saying. I don't have the hepatitis B vaccine. Should I? I don't exchange needles or have unprotected sex with Hep B victims. David, you demand you do kicking the ass in 2020. I hope to meet you when you win so we can talk about the ADA stuff. Well, that's the idea, Ad1. If you're a supporter of our show at this stage and you contact me by email when I'm president, you'll definitely have an inside channel to talk about issues related to your personal, I guess, quest. That's the important thing, what you're trying to fight for in life. No, you don't have to participate, but I just want everybody to know that we might all be a victim of the VMAT2 gene. I'm fighting it. I'm drinking coffee. I'm taking supplements. I'm doing a new thing called curcumin, which is the good curative part of turmeric, which is found in yellow mustard and in curry. But curcumin is considered a very powerful life extender, cell protector. So I just bought a couple bottles for $8.88 over at Walmart at 2 for sale. And I said, Sarah, I think I'm going to do these every day because I wanted to share people that weren't in our show yesterday, okay? I've only talked about this twice, and you're saying old news, Dave. God, man. Anyways, if they are doing this project the Pentagon had in mind 10 years ago, and if they really are spraying aerosol virus or vaccines in our air, we're screwed. We're screwed. It would explain why curcumin has been around a long time, but I'm just starting it because I've been using yellow mustard and turmeric in my food, but you can get more of it if you get the tablet of curcumin. Okay, there are 3 different curcumin formulations. Well, you know a lot about curcumin. You're pretty smart. You're one of the smart fellers. Oh. Yeah. According to the CDC, 41% of us will get cancer. I heard it's higher than that. I heard 99% of all men will get cancer by the age of 99. Yeah, I believe that Charles Manson talked about a lot of things on Thorazine. So apparently this VMAT2 gene makes people obedient, docile. Do you feel like you're a little lethargic? You feel more sheep-like than you did when you were younger? Anyone feel that? Press 1 if you feel more sheep-like. I'm just doing a field test right now. More like bah. Fluoridation is what is causing people to feel kind of listless too. No, I'm not gay, but you are, obviously. Well, I'm not saying we're not exposed to toxins. I'm saying they're designing toxins to control our brain. What the hell? Really? Only one person feels like a sheep here. Someone's in denial. That's more than a river in Egypt, you know. It's going down.
It's going down out here! Oh my fucking God, it's going down!
Launched in the summer of 2015, It's Going Down is a website that is run by a network of friends and comrades across the territory of so-called North America.
Okay, well, I've been going down the pathway of building a political movement for the past 8 years, and I think I'm not going to give time to it's going down, because as far as I'm concerned, it's already gone down. The thing is, it makes people obedient. So Trump-Tard syndrome is a part of the VMAT2 virus. Reddit has doxed like 50 Antifa members already. Wow. I did not know that. It's going down, yeah. It's already been down, man. The whole thing has been down. If you think that the stock market is a good indication of our economy, talk to people at Applebee's and IHOP, the company that owns those restaurants. They're closing 160 of these stores and restaurants. Yeah. It's not exactly a booming economy. I don't know about Walmart being up. They're definitely floating. In fact, floating so much that they're thinking of creating a blimp, just like the one I had designed. Yeah, the blimp plane idea is now a pathway. They patented the idea, Walmart did, to drop actually stock and do inventory from a blimp floating above their store. So my idea is catching on, apparently. Yeah, JCPenney's Sears is struggling. You betcha. You better believe it. Yeah, it's not easy. The blimp plane idea lives on, though. My goal was to save countless old planes from being defunct. I mean, we've got about 500 of these 747, 737s that could easily be junked in about 10 years if we let them just drop out based on stress fractures. So this idea is designed to keep them afloat, no pun intended. Okay, pun intended. I admit it. I intended the pun. Keep the blimp plane afloat. I did not buy a pet rock, though. I remember the day that I saw 50 of them over at a store in Westwood, though. A vivid memory of touching all these pet rocks. Chili eating contest, Bath Chili Festival. Oh, that's an old chili eating contest. And the hard way, a virtual reality training experience gameplay. Okay, that looks fun. That could be fun.
This game will teach you how to make my original recipe chicken. The hard way. Excuse me. All right, Gary. Until you learn how to make my chicken right, you will not be allowed.
This is interesting. It's kind of similar to BioShock Infinite, a game that's pretty popular, where you can interactively create something. Yeah. How many of you game? Press 1, or if you're active gamers, don't press 1 if you don't game hardly at all. Just curious how many people game in our room. You like BioShock, so you're a gamer? Add the one's a gamer. So gaming is really popular. Interesting. Well, that'll be worth looking at. Thank you for the link there. KFC it's called. The hard way. Wow. Yeah, see, gaming seems to be out for me. I played Xbox 360 and did a show for a year, and I was not happy with the experience. I don't like BioShock either, and yes, it is like BioShock. But the problem that I've encountered with games is some of them are really kind of stupid. Like, you'll have to move one particular box to get to the next level, and if you don't move that box, you're really stupid, dude. All you gotta do is move the box, dude. And then you're the guy who doesn't move the box in time, and it's just, it seems so ridiculous, yeah. But they could be really, really interactive. And I think when games start interacting with sex, that's the thing that's going to be really, really popular. Are sex games here, really? I didn't know. I'm not into the idea of gaming. That's not to say I'm not into the idea of sex. The USB pump job, is that a game? Playing those mind games forever. Yeah, it could be mind games. That'd be a big thing. I'm just a little concerned that gaming is overhyped. I mean, I was paying $5 for a game when I was doing Xbox 360 games. I'm buying them at discount at GameStop. You can get prostitutes in Grand Theft Auto 5. There you go. Yes, well, Ellen DeGeneres and I are merging. We're becoming humanoid of the same formation. We are identical. It is entirely possible that I will be Ellen DeGeneres shortly, merging with her being. Some people just rock out all day long. They just sit there and rock out. Yeah, I used to play the four-wheeler game in the pre-show, but the gaming didn't really, it didn't intrigue me enough to get into Xbox One or... You're a prostitute in Grand Theft Auto right now? That's amazing. You know, I don't do blow-up dolls. I just have a thing about them. They don't excite me. Is that abnormal for guys not to be turned on by blow-up dolls? Anybody? Anybody know? Yeah, I've got an amazing technology theory for you. We have a band to do here. There you go. This guy right here was an actor, okay? He was a musician at one time, a professor of music. But he was hired to do a very important thing. He was hired to tell people that if they don't get on Hell Bop, it'll miss an opportunity to experience a new world and a new dimension of life. Well, this guy actually ended up dying along with 45 others at the Rancho Santa Fe location of the Heaven's Gate group. Yeah. Sorry. Well, this is the thing. I have a logical conflict about the Heaven's Gate death that I have been dealing with for some time. Researching this, no, it will not fit an 18-pound butterball turkey. Researching the Heaven's Gate group, I've discovered something very strange. Everyone at the Heaven's Gate complex died over a 10-day period. How is that possible? So, you are blocked. I am. How is that? Am I being blocked right now? I'm touching on some issues that are really kind of bizarre. Heaven's Gate, by the way, is a brilliantly designed website. Has no errors. It works perfectly if you look at it. Unlike Mark Vaughn's page here, which it's riddled with errors. Well, it turns out all the Heaven's Gate people were website designers, right? Well, their website was constructed during that time period when they were talking about this delusional thought that they're going to land on they're going to go to the Hale-Bopp comet and die. But there was a disclaimer on their site prior to them all dying, and the disclaimer said that they would never commit suicide. And the disclaimer was on there all the time. Every single page had a disclaimer on it. We would never commit suicide. Well, when they died, that disclaimer was removed. So then I started thinking, who was around this Rancho Santa Fe area during the time period of the Heaven's Gate group? Now, these were the early designers of the web, mind you. These were some of the top people. And you could actually see testimonials of them talking about Heaven's Gate because they were required to talk about it. Well, it turns out some of these guys, these ladies and men, were some of the top C+ programmers of their time. Why would they be all gathered in one location in Rancho Santa Fe, near Newport Beach? Well, it turns out they were 1 hour drive from San Diego, where the CIA headquarters was located. I've done some pretty deep research on this group. An admiral and a general that are currently still active duty, actually, were involved with this group. And the server that they're running Heaven's Gate on still is run out of a server in Wisconsin, which is part of a CIA server network. Well, I know the world hates C++, but it happens to be the backbone of our financial sector. And it happens to be the code that nobody wants to even bother with because it's so complicated. Okay, that being the case, I just have this really very weird, creepy feeling because they died over a 9 or 10 day period, that every time they came back to the cult meetings or to the location where the cult met, they were executed. And the reason why they were executed was because they were the architects of the financial programming used today across the globe. Seriously, I'm using inductive reasoning to conclude this theory that there's something not right here. They were all required to do testimonials of their belief in Hale-Bopp. It was a cover story with a disclaimer on the site saying they would never kill themselves. So they thought that, well, with a disclaimer on the site, we would never ever be caught. Why would 45 people be gathering at a house? Well, they needed a cover story because they were all cult members. Duh. No, they were all working on the most complex data encryption software programming on the net that is used today, and nobody has ever seen a break in that system. And I'm beginning to wonder if they weren't tasked to do this and then disposed of. That's my big conspiracy theory in terms of programming and science that I'm putting together. So if people have a little time on their hands, they can kind of look for themselves. But the videos that are out there of the Heaven's Gate testimonials are so bizarre.
I just ended up saying, I cannot deny this man. I cannot deny Doe.
Present existence of the next level, the kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven, a representative from that kingdom.
And then I looked at the production value of all their videos, right? And they're up there with like Alex Jones level production values. And we know that Alex Jones is a shill. We know that he produces videos for the government, that he's a controlled opposition player. Everything Alex Jones does is highly professional. And it's all because he's being paid a ton of money. And I wouldn't doubt the same group is financing various operations to make us think that there are things going on that aren't. So it's very, very strange that these people have so much money to make really high-level productions. He's your brother? Well, how can Alex Jones be your brother when he's Bill Hicks? Are you Bill Hicks's brother? The real Alex Jones has been dead a long time. Or if he's not dead, he's been replaced by this Bill Hicks, and he's probably living in some private place, witness protection. Who knows? But it's pretty obvious that Alex Jones is not Alex Jones. And if you haven't seen this video, I could play that for you. It's very bizarre.
Agent man, secret agent man, they giving you a number and taking 00 dumbass.
And I believe that that there's this agenda in mainstream media, and I think it's fairly easy to back this up, to keep people stupid, docile, and apathetic, and therefore the elite who own these corporations and the families that own the corporations, even fewer people, Their agenda is to keep us stupid and apathetic. That's why I love public access. And again, thanks for having me on.
Go back to bed, America. Your government is in control again.
Or I could admire someone who's a better comic than I am.
Look at my furrows of worry. Look at my big bank account and my family. Has to be real.
Or I could admire someone who's a better comic than I am.
State power will always win. We'll paint you as a child molester, and we'll paint you as a methamphetamine manufacturer. We'll say any lie we want over our propaganda machine, the mainstream media, and we'll burn you and your children in your home. So you just be apathetic, America. You stay docile, and don't you ever forget, you're free to do what we tell you.
So who is Alex Jones? His face is so similar to Bill Hicks, it's unbelievable. Same exact jawline. He's even got a place where a mole was removed. You can see the mark on his chin there. And these people that did this video uncovered this very rare picture of a guy in Texas named Alex Jones. Yeah. That's the real Alex Jones. It's phenomenal how this guy was disposed of, and Bill Hicks was took over his role. Yeah, and this guy is no longer around. This guy replaced him. Who is this guy, and where is he? What happened to him? That's the big question, the million-dollar question. Because in 1997, he was replaced with Bill Hicks. No. In fact, the guy who plays Alex Jones now is 10 years older than this man. He kind of looks like Tom Cruise, yeah. I just don't know who he is. That's the thing. Where is he? Where is the real Alex Jones? Who cares about Fuzzy Zeller? Who cares? The problem is the Bilderberg Group. They're the ones that are taking over our country, and they're the ones that are driving everybody, including the machinery of our economy. I mean, who is this guy? Where did he go? Where is the real Bill Hicks? Well, he's Alex Jones. I was looking for Ellen. Hold on just a second. Yeah. Anyway, we've come to the end of our show. It's been fun. As you know, we do a show every night, and I enjoy it. If I didn't enjoy doing it, I wouldn't do it. So that's the bottom line. And the fact that you enjoy watching makes me feel good. If you don't like this show, you'll see another show where I'll put on a longer wig when people start ragging on my hair. You know, I'm not afraid of doing anything to get noticed because I've been censored for 8 years in my own country that claims to be free and democratic. And no, I'm not Ellen DeGeneres. I'm Annie Lennox. Let the truth be known. Hey, you have a good night too, Misty. I appreciate you coming in and watching our show. No, I'm not Annie Lennox. I'm just making that up. Trying to look for Ellen DeGeneres here in my backlog of pictures. Oh, Ellen. Yeah, anyway. Obviously, Ellen's hiding from me. She's probably with her girlfriends. Okay, this show is not dedicated to white people. We're open to anybody of any color. I am not colorblind. I don't think that white people are superior. I think we've got a president who's obviously a racist, And many of us are beginning to grapple with that fact. Many people are leaving all of his groups. His manufacturing advisory group is dissipating. He, in fact, closed it down after 6 people left. And I guess there's a whole slew of other people in his infrastructure group that are leaving as well. So Donald Trump won't have anybody credible to be in his cabinet. Carl Icahn just left, claiming he didn't want to be an advisor anymore, because Trump literally forgot he was an advisor. Someone said, "Is Carl Icahn your advisor?" And Trump said, no, he's not my advisor. Icahn heard about that and he said, "I'm out of here." He can't even remember who's advising him. Seriously. So we are open to people of all different backgrounds. We're not here just to celebrate in white people. That's not the story I'm spinning, and that's not in any way what I want for America. I believe that we need to continue moving in the direction we've been moving for a long time. We just have to slow it down a little bit. We can't let our country slip into the type of immigration crisis that's going on in Europe right now, and it's getting worse in Europe. Okay. What is white people? I don't know. All I know is that I don't really think white people need to, necessarily gather and claim that they have a particular political movement. But if the KKK and the neo-Nazis want to do that, we can't stop them, because we're dedicated to freedom of speech. The Supreme Court has ruled on this before. But in no way should we let them get a pass like Donald Trump gave them the day he responded to the attack at Charlottesville. We've got to at least show who is America, and we are not Nazis. We are not KKK members. And we are not about to sit back and watch a racist president destroy what this country means and what it stands for so many people around the world. Defining what America is should be a land of opportunity, not a land of suppression and censorship and racism, which is basically what's going on. We've got an enlarged police state under Donald Trump, and it's getting worse. And the cybernetic world that's coming is out of control. It's bizarre. And if we don't get a hold of this and get some democratic action in this country before this cybernetic world starts taking over, and if Elon Musk is right and AI is more dangerous than any wars, then we have a real problem. We seriously do. So obviously we have to get ahead of this, and the two parties are not going to do anything, because the people that run the two parties are really, really rich, and they don't care about you. They just assume replace you with this thing, a talking, walking, talking robot. Fleshy, the non-stop chatterbox. Okay, that's been it. Thanks for coming in. I'll be bringing videos on in the evening till 2 in the morning. Appreciate the time here, and we will be back tomorrow with more. So, enjoy.
You make me melt away.